Shout out to Kop-Ish.
Shout out to Kopish, guys.
Keep all the good work
the
up.
two legends, Emil Heskey, Howard Gill. Can't get much better than that, guys. Yeah. You know what to do now. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm with legends, guys.
Kop-Ish.
Good evening, lovely people. Hope you're well, and welcome back to another special Monday Night Live, where not only will we be discussing things that are happening, but we'll also be bringing in special guests to help us chop up what will be a special season review. So the way the show is going to go today, I'm going to spend about the first 20 minutes just discussing some of the news and topics that are coming out at the moment, such as Trent, Coutinho, Kante playing tonight, Houssem Aouar playing tonight. So a couple of things there, the Dhaka links as well. Then we're going to start moving into different segments where we chop it up with different guests and we speak about the season on a whole, and then speak about different sections of the season, etc. Before we get into that, though, I've got a shout out to Mark A. Mark A, it's your birthday. So let's drop the beat for Mark A.
All right, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Mark, and hope you have a fantastic rest of the day.
Hey guys, just a question, technicals. Yeah. Are you guys getting stuttering during any intervals?
What do you mean, any interval?
What do you mean?
Is it just me? Like, for example, when you just drop the beat, I'm getting like, it's all clean on you lot's end.
Yeah, bro, clean.
Okay.
You saying, what are you saying? Virgin to hit you now, yeah?
Yeah, I was gonna say. So they ran all up on my thing today. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
With that virus.
Yeah, you started saying reckless stuff about FSG. Don't you see? I've started just pulling back on that now, and the internet's been calm since then. Careful, bro. LeBron don't play that. Don't play that.
Don't play, bro. Don't play.
that.
No, let's don't talk about NBA though, because my Lakers aren't doing too great still. But anyway, we move.
I have no idea what's going on in basketball.
Yeah, we won't talk about basketball today.
We beat Jazz the other day. I watched it just for Matt still.
We lost to the Phoenix. We lost to the Phoenix Suns, innit? Like, obviously it's 2-2.
Yeah, sorry, that was it. Yeah,
we lost to Phoenix, so it's 2-2. Obviously, it's first of 4 games, innit? Best of 7. And yeah, and Anthony Davis went
a bit mad, so I think the whole situation is crazy right now.
Anthony Davis went down injured with a groin strain. It's not looking good. Can't front. But anyway, we're here to talk about football. We're here to talk about basketball, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Sorry, Matt. My conductor.
Even though I made it like LeBron, and now I'll take that. Still, I'll take that. But yeah, we move.
Cool. So let's start with Coutinho. Once again, another transfer window, another link with Coutinho. First and foremost, guys, do you even think there's any interest from Liverpool's side? Yes or no?
Depends how much he costs.
No.
I'll be honest, I
really don't.
Even if he's like, so, all right, the reports come out of that. Barca want to write off the debt with Liverpool, so they'll give him back to us. Basically, a cash converters thing. They ain't been able to pay the bill. We're saying, look, we're seizing back the goods. The only thing is, we've already sold, the debt's already been sold off and paid off. So we've received all the Coutinho money from the knowledge I have. So I don't know how this has come about. I don't know if this is just lazy journalism. But let me ask you guys.
Yeah.
If Coutinho is available for free, quote unquote, obviously his wages are going to be astronomical in comparison to what we're paying our players currently. On a free, would you take Coutinho back?
Yeah, of course.
Do you know what? I was deliberating when I think I speaking to Drifty about earlier on. I deliberated thinking, you know what? Coutinho, like, ball up personified, but do you want to know what I brought up? I don't know. Actually, I don't know if this was aware at the time. Sorry, bro. The man's had 3 surgeries on his knee this year. 3 knee surgeries.
When you told me the type of injury, bro, you can get over them. It wasn't an ACL or anything like that.
It's still bad though.
It was a cyst within his knee. Like that's way easier to deal with than like
it's
an ACL or something like that.
What it is? He's 28 years old, or he's going to be 29, right? I still think he's a baller. You can't just take away him not being a baller, right? We're not taking away from him. But what I'm saying is this, though. You don't know what he's going to look like when he comes back, you know? Because at that age as well, Drew, Coutinho was never the fastest player. He had that quick step, that kind of little explosion to get him away. If that's gone, dare I say it, bro, we're talking about a different player. And not only that, let me ask you this, Drift, yeah? As talented as he is, where does he go into our team? Or where does he go into our squad? Because let's just say, for example, for argument's sake, we do the whole man jumps into the squad and he beefs up the squad. Where do you play him?
Are we really going to have that conversation?
And we're having a conversation. I'm just having a conversation.
Coutinho can play anywhere you need him to, bro.
See, Carl, what you saying? I know it's Carl was sipping juice. Carl trying to get out of the war.
All right, so I'm going to be real with you.
Let me reeling Carl, because Carl was trying to really jump out the war and he thought I wouldn't notice.
As a player,
he's a
when
baller.
he was at Liverpool, he was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Hasn't really kicked on at Barcelona for a magnitude of reasons. At Bayern Munich, he looked as though he started to come back to that sort of player. Beginning of this season, he looked as though he was starting off really well and all that as well. The knee injuries have to be considered. But I'm going to be real with you. The way he left still doesn't sit too right with me. I've got to be real with you. Like,
See, I'm not bothered. People make mistakes about that bit.
I'm not holding grudges this long, man.
Yeah, because you know what it is, Carl?
All right, but are we forgetting about holding grudges because of the quality that he showed when he was with us? Because dare I say, if this was someone like who can I say who's a player that we like but we didn't love? Let's say if it was a player who was just good for us, an Emre Can, for example. If Emre Can left the way that Coutinho left, would we be saying, yeah, we could get Emre Can back on a free year, grab him? We wouldn't.
Emre Can's body of work doesn't continue. What it is?
Sorry, really sorry to cut you. But this is what I'm saying. Why should Coutinho get more of a leeway because he was a more talented player and did more for us? Because the way he left was no, but hear me out. He left us in a horrible way in January. Like, let's not forget the way he left. Man, faked injury.
He did.
Because nobody was more upset than me, bro. I love it.
There's videos of me just remember we went to man's drum, you know.
Yeah, bro.
Remember, we went to man's yard, pulled up on man. Man wasn't there.
Bro. But here's what you got to remember. You got to feel like if he apologizes and he obviously knows that the move was wrong now because it didn't pan out for him, that one mistake you can kind of give him a blight on. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I'm with Matt. Like, everybody makes mistakes. Everybody, no, he did it once.
He did it like twice or three times. It wasn't
but on the short space of time, it's all the same thing. It was all part of it.
He did it in the summer. He did it in the summer as well.
No, he didn't pick up a stinky.
No, he did. But it is, he put in, so if I'm not mistaken, in the summers when he kicked up, and
he
we
put
said
in a transfer request,
and then
he
put in a transfer request in January.
Mike Gordon from FSG, our president, Mike Gordon, had to step in, apparently, because he was getting all funny. Mike Gordon had to tell him, you're not being sold, innit? So he put his head down, played the best football that he's ever played for us, and then he left in January. Now, Cal, I hear what you're saying, and I even think Drift hears you. We both hear you, but it's more of a case of we're Liverpool Football Club. We're not run the best way as we should be. Players like this on a free don't come around every so often. The only reason I was even talking about potentially not having him back is because I'm just a little bit worried about the knee. But as a player and his body of work and what he's done, bro, what it is like, I know people are saying snake and all this thing and rat, but we're all grown men and grown women, and you know what I mean, like, people make mistakes, bro. You think he hasn't thought, do you know what, I really messed up, you know, I wanted to go Barca. It was the club that I've always wanted to play for since he was born. He gets the opportunity and he didn't go about it the right way. Agent chirping in his ear, what's his name, Kid Jarabshan, or whatever his name is. He's probably looked at that and thought, wow, when I come home, there are rumours he wanted to come home last season.
And plus, you gotta figure this out as well, yeah. Nobody's angry at Mascherano, who almost did pretty much the same thing. That all got forgiven. Like, I heard all the fans rating Mascherano. Nobody ever said nothing bad about Mascherano, and he pretty much did the same thing. And if I'm being honest, if Suarez weren't a racist, everybody would take him back as well. So if I'm being completely honest, we're kind of like picking and choosing here. I'm telling you now, if Suarez weren't a racist and all he did was just that one biting incident, we would have took him back.
Make it 2. Make it 3. Because
I'm saying in the Liverpool shirt. Forget about what he's done when he's played for other teams. When he was in the
for real.
Liverpool shirt, he did it to Ivanovic. If that was the only thing he did in the Liverpool shirt,
they would take him back. Exactly, and that's what just right. You know, that's worse. You know, Cal. Is it worse?
Do you know what? So here's the thing. I fully agree with what you're both saying. Like, I can't sit here and be like, no, you're wrong. I'm just saying for me personally, it's like, look, I'm gonna be real with you, yeah. Say for example, we're doing this show, and like for weeks, I was like, let's just put it into context. Let's say I wanted to go and work for another channel full time, and you both were like, no, Cal, what are you doing there?
I'm people, I don't know where Cal's going with this. I'm just letting you know. It's kind of weird that he brings this up. Yeah, keep going, Cal. Keep going.
And then imagine you, man. Imagine you lot were like, nah, Cal, we're on to bigger and better things, man. We're moving up, like things. The channel's taking off, the merch is dropped. Look, we're moving. And then I turn around to you, man, and be like, you know, I'm ill, you man. And you're like, what's wrong? Nah, I'm just ill. Can't do the shows.
I'm not gonna lie, you know me already. I'll phone you, be like, you know, well, yeah, all right, cool. Where you at now?
Hold on, but I'm not even finished, Matt.
Go.
But then you catch me on the next channel, and you're like, "Oh, I thought you were ill," and I'm like, "Boy, I'm done with you, man. And I'm on this channel." And then imagine I go to that channel, things start looking techie, and I'm not doing well over there. I'm doing bad over there, yeah. I'm doing real bad over there. And then I just call up. I'm like, Matt Drift, what you man on a group call randomly? You man good, yeah? Yeah, we're good. Yeah. Hope you guys are well. How's the family and all that? Yeah, we're good, Cal. What's up?
What's running?
Bro, you lot want to bring the band back together, yeah? DX and that, like.
Hey, you know what, man will be calling man like Easy E, blood, like, yeah.
Like,
no, what you're saying, Carl, is right, you know. No, it's
Let me ask you a question. Would you guys take me back?
I wouldn't even take the call.
I know different take the call. No, all jokes aside, because we're big grown men, this is what would happen, likely scenario. You'll probably call us first time, no one picks up. I'll probably call Drift and be like, yo, Drift, you see the missed call? Drift will be like, I don't know, I wasn't even paying attention. And I'll be like, what do you mean you didn't see it? Didn't you see Cal call him? What, that guy? What the guy we used to work with? And I'd be like, bro.
I'll be like, bro, I didn't know his number by heart, innit? So it was just a number on my phone.
But all jokes aside, I think we would have to address it. No, but whether we take the call or not, we'd address it at some point, though.
Yeah, you'd address it and be like, who's telling him no, me or you?
No, but you know what, though? All jokes aside, though, if it's a thing where...
Honestly, it depends, though, innit? Because that situation is different, because families know each other, and like, it's different.
Yeah,
like,
it's different.
It would be like...
We know it's kids and all them things there. It's all mad. It's different.
And you know another thing as well, that situation will be different because I know you would be willing to come on camera and kind of apologize in front of everyone and make amends. That's because I'll make you do a public apology. That's a fact.
And what people won't see is me right next to Cal's camera. Be like, say what you got to say, fam. Say what you got to say.
You just, when I say something wrong, you just, oh, sorry.
Like, that's what I'm saying. If Suarez, you can tell Coutinho's sorry. Do you get what I mean? Like, and I think if he came back, he would be like, I'm sorry, guys. Rare. Like, I'm just saying that one mistake there was a huge mistake. It was. But I feel like it's time to forgive him if we can bring him back. And he knows he fucked up, Cal. He knows he's fucked up.
Do we allow that to define like him as a person? Because as you said, everyone makes mistakes, innit? Going by what you just said, Cal, say you did that, I mean, just for like, nah, do you know what? That's our brother. Like, he said he's made a mistake. Like, we're not just gonna be like, oh well, no, he's gone and done what he's done. If you're a brother, that's something that we're gonna consider. So even though me and Jeff might not be fully like, you know, like you, I do feel like Liverpool should consider it, considering the situation that we're in, Carl. All right, let me ask you this, yeah? Coutinho, dare I say it, with 3 knee injuries, we don't know what he's going to look like. You take a gamble, or we've got a certain man at the club that on stupid wages and just ain't doing nothing. They're not doing nothing. So you might as well take the chance, right? Potentially. Is it worth looking at?
as
You
a
say 3
footballer,
injuries, Serka. You say 3 injuries.
Sorry,
Now.
three
So
knee surgeries. That's what I meant. Sorry,
really, it's just one injury.
it's a knee. Yes, and
Because
he
what
hurt
I'm
in
guessing is the
December.
cyst keeps on coming back, and they've got to keep on removing it. That must be what keeps on happening, and that can happen because the cyst is quite. Do you know what I mean? Like that can just happen, innit? A knee injury would be more like patella or ACL or meningus or any of those. If it was one of them, I'd be like, maybe he's done 3 surgeries on a meniscus. Like he must be finished. But you know what I mean? It's a cyst, bro. Like I don't even really call that an injury.
Yeah, do
you know what I mean? Like,
no, it was quite bad though.
It's a little bit like having a staph infection or something. Like you get surgery on it, but it's not really an injury.
No,
though,
but
is it? Like,
just 3 in a year.
It hurt, no cow. I know it hurt. I know it hurt.
It's a meniscus. No, it was a meniscus.
I know it hurt, but it's not an injury. If you get what I mean.
No, it was a meniscus.
Different, bro.
Meniscus cyst. Some
There's a cow getting flashbacks.
I'll be real with you. My knee injury wasn't as painful as my staph infection.
Yeah, ask Whitaker. Yeah.
No, but that was only because they had to cut a bit of your arm out, though, isn't it? So, like,
Iona has never heard me scream the way she heard me scream when that was happening. I screamed down the hospital, bro.
I didn't even laugh.
I screamed down the hospital, bro.
I shouldn't have laughed.
I'm talking about just give me all the anesthetic, just give me anesthetic, just punch me, knock me out. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Bro, that pain there, nothing like it.
No, fair enough.
Some people are saying, it's a cyst atom from meniscus. Yeah, but I don't know what it is, but it's some madness with his knee. Put at this drift, whether it's as bad as what we say is, to have 3 operations in obviously we've only been in the year for 5 months, yeah. That's kind of peak still. He's had 3 of them.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's what worries me. That's what worries me.
I told you this would come back to bite me. I knew this would come back. I told you it'd come back to bite me. Shout out to David. That was quality. All right. A couple more before we get onto the season review properly. Patson Dhaka been linked with Liverpool quite heavily today. Touted between 25 to 30 million euros.
What, Dhaka?
Now, yeah. Now I'm going to ask you. I'm going to ask, and we've spoken about this in length, so we're not going to do this in length. If he was coming in to replace Origi, as opposed to coming in to be our main number 9. Would you guys be able to live with that?
No. Obviously, this is going to start the whole Drift loves Origi too much. Show me any proof Dhaka's better than Origi. What? Because he bads it up in the Austrian League. Origi would get hat-tricks every week in the Austrian League. Where's the... No, he would. I don't care what anyone says.
Where's
the proof that Dhaka is better than Origi, honestly? All it would be was the new toy, but it's still not a good toy.
Bro, listen, I'm in agreement. If you're going to get Patson Dhaka, and he, for me, is unproven, he is, as you said, we've only seen what we can see in the Austrian League. I don't see the big upgrade that people are so gassed about. Like, and again,
people just want new stuff, man.
And again, maybe he does have the potential. Maybe he is, I don't know, maybe he's more hungry at this stage of his career. So even by default, he might get more goals, right? Because he's more hungry and Divock Origi's falling out of favour, ret-a-tear. But me personally, I don't see Dhaka doing things where we're like, oh my days, we definitely made the right decision here. Or, oh my days, this brother's pushing for a first team like Jota. He's just not, in my opinion anyway. Like, Jota was already proven at Wolves, yeah? Jota was doing things before Dhaka, and Jota was doing it in Europa as well, yeah? Bruv, whether you rate Origi or not, and this ain't even about Origi, yeah? Take Origi out of the equation. Should Liverpool Football Club be going for someone like Patson Dhaka? That's what I will ask anyone in the chat. Should we be going for that caliber of player, or should we be going for something better? Because when you're hearing teams like even when Man City got Jesus, yeah, I knew about Jesus from day. I told Drift and a couple of our friends, like, no, Jesus is a baller. And You know what I mean? Like, and he's good. And dare I say it? Not even dare I say it. Jesus is better than Dhaka. It's not even a debate. But these are the type of players that we should be going for. Players with a higher ceiling. Like, and I know Jesus ain't been balling out recently, but no one can sit here and tell me Patson Daka's better than Jesus. Because if you are, then boy, you must love that Austrian league. Like, real talk. Because Patson Daka's not. He's not talking to no strikers who I think we should be going for. Even a wide forward.
Let me give you a good example just quickly, of why I don't think Dhaka is like, and I could be wrong. Of course I could be wrong. And if I'm wrong, I'll hold my hands up. But anybody told me now that they think Patson Daka is better than Michy Batshuayi was at the time when he left France and he came to England, they're lying to themselves. But Batshuayi looked like an absolute baller when he was coming to the Premier League.
Look at this.
Look how that turned out.
Look at this, Drift. Look at that. Look at that. Carl, I'll let you read that and let the people them know what the vibe that I'm.
Kane to City, Sancho to Man U, Lukaku to Chelsea. We get Dhaka. OMG.
This is what I'm saying. And it's not even about names, but you can, as football lovers,
Yeah, there's a
and love the game.
in class.
There's a massive deficiency in, like, that's a, bruv.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, do any of you lot think he's better than Batshuayi?
If I'm being honest, a fully fit Batshuayi probably might be better than Dhaka. Probably. He's established. In fact, no, he is. Because I'll tell you why. Batshuayi has proved it to me even when he was at Dortmund playing with better players from when he was before. No,
but do you remember how good Batshuayi was when he came to the Prem?
Yeah.
I don't think. I'll be honest. This might be controversial. I've never rated Batshuayi that much. I just think he's a very good finisher. But as an overall footballer, I think he's extremely basic. Hence why
But bruv, if finishing's all he needs to do, then technically...
but it's not though. At Liverpool, you need to do more. It's not just
No, I just mean
I hear that, but then...
In general, if you're a striker and you're a good finisher, it kind of... If as long as you get service, you'll be all right, innit?
What I'm saying is, Carl, would you take Batshuayi right now or Dhaka?
Out of the two, I'd probably take Dhaka.
Why?
But that's because recent memory is Batshuayi been a flop. If it was 2 or 3 years ago when he first come to the league, Batshuayi was way better.
I've got to think about right now, not who's had a better body.
Oh no, but I'm just talking about when he came to the Prem. I'm talking about that Batshuayi there that went to Chelsea for like 35 million. That Batshuayi is way better than what Dhaka looks now. And look how Batshuayi turned out. I know Chelsea might have been the reason, but my point is, don't fall for the hype of a player playing in another league. It may go well, of course it might, but you've got to look at them other leagues and think there's no, like, look at Bruno Fernandes, for example. I'm not saying the guy ain't great, but you know why he don't pop shots from anywhere anymore? Because you realise goalkeepers are good in England. This ain't Portugal where you can just pack goalies out from 30 yards. No, how it's real, man. The goalies ain't like that no more. No, and the defence will sit. So we can't just pack shots at an open goal from 30 yards.
Even though I don't fully agree with you, if I get what you're saying. You know what? Remember, he was licking off shots in Portugal. One, because he knew he was the guy. And secondly, he knew he could do it, right? He's come Prem now, understood that, right, I can lick shots, but not in the same wave, because, as you said, better goalkeepers, better defenders, you're not going to get as much time in the ball. And it's the same thing with Dhaka. I'm not trying to say, Patson Daka's dead. I'm not trying to say he's crap. I'm not saying that. I'm saying for what we need, is Patson Daka the guy we should be looking at? In my opinion, no. We want to be progressing. Like, we need to be looking at that guy that's going to potentially take us to the next level. If we've got to go down a few notches, then we'll assess the situation. Fair enough, because there's even, as you guys said, like Andre Silva, like you got players who we are capable of getting. So I don't know.
Prove themselves at higher level.
All right, we're going to read out the super chats and then we're going to bring on our first guest to start speaking about the season review. Please, guys, we've got over 1,000 of you in here, which is amazing for a Monday night. So please, guys, do smash the like button if you haven't already. Really appreciate all the support. Himanshu, after the Champions League final, is Kante elite in your books, Cal? Can I come back to that question on Friday, please, Himanshu? Not to dodge your super chat, only because I think it's more of a conversation than just the one-word answer, in my opinion.
Bruh. You do realize Chelsea didn't win the Champions League. Kante won the Champions League.
You really got to think about it till Friday.
I don't want to be too reactionary with it.
Oh, it ain't reactionary for me. I've been screaming about. And do you want to know what I love about Kante? Do you remember last year when everyone was saying he's done? You see how people are quick to write a man off when he's had one bad season?
Bruv, certain people were saying Fred over Kante still.
Bro, I remember enough people writing off Kante because he had one bad year, you know.
Bro,
what I will
Kante's
say is
different.
The only reason I want to say an answer, but I think I need to think about it a bit more so I don't come across too reactionary or too biased, because everyone knows Kante is one of my favorite players.
Bro,
I don't want to just.
All right, fair enough.
I don't want to just say it and then not kind of have anything to back it up with.
Bro, I'll say this: Kante's been doing his thing since Leicester.
No, look,
had one bad season. No, I'm not. This ain't to you.
Yeah,
it's just the people that are watching that might want to, come at me if they want to challenge what I'm saying. Kante's been doing his thing since Leicester. Arguably had one bad season, which was last year. Balling personified. Helped France win a World Cup. He's won a Premier League at Chelsea. He's now won a Champions League.
Europa as well.
Bruv, this brother here, not even just let's not even call him a DM. Let's just call him a centre mid, because he's a centre mid because he can do everything. He can do everything, bruv. Kante's different, you know. Kante is built different.
For me, Kante's top 5 midfielders in my generation.
Kante's built different, bro. And let's put it like this, people. If ever there was a day, which would never happen, by the way, that Kante ever played for Liverpool, oh my, bro!
I was screaming for it.
We don't even need to play 4-2-3-1. It'll be 4-1-5, whatever the thing is.
We'd play a 4-1-5.
Trust me. That's what I'm trying to say.
Kante covers the whole of the central area of the pitch, and wherever else he wants to cover. Do you know what?
Could you imagine Kante and Fabinho sweeping? Oh, the pitch would never get dirty. Just bare sweeping.
If we had Kante and Fabinho, I'd actually say play 2 at the back.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, bro.
And not even 2 centre backs, 1 full back and 1 centre back.
No, it would be Van Dijk and Trent.
Van Dijk and Rob. I want Trent higher up.
No, I want Trent. I want to utilize the position of the pitch counter. This is spraying
with Kante. Oh my, the high line. Don't worry about the high line, people. With Kante.
All right, so gonna finish reading the super chats and then bring in our first guest.
Yeah.
Yafu, you guys were saying Fabinho is better, right? See, here, this is why I try not to be too reactionary, because even though Kante has been brilliant in the Champions League, especially in the final, no one can sit here and tell me Fabinho hasn't had a better season than Kante this season.
That season.
He's had a better season, but I got to be honest, he's not a better player.
Last season, who had a better season?
That was Kante's bad season when everyone wrote
him off.
Hold on.
That's Fabinho's best season.
The season before.
No, the season before that, and going back 4 or 5 years, is all Kante.
It's not 4 or 5 years.
He was world class since Leicester.
That's not 4 or 5 years, Drift.
Leicester won the league 5 years ago, right?
Yes, Fabinho wasn't in our team 5 years ago, bro.
Oh no, I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying Kante.
He's just saying in general.
No, but I'm saying. No, I'm not saying he wasn't, but I'm saying everyone's saying Kante's automatically better than Fab. It's a conversation. Fab has been sick.
No, Fab has been sick.
Liverpool.
All right, so 18, 19, 19, 20. Fab really got into his own, 18, 19, obviously. I'd say towards the back end of that season.
I'd say from December, that's when Fab started being a beast.
That's what I'm saying. So, kind of back end, you get what I'm trying to say. Like, we nearly turned of the year, so to speak. And then from then, he went on to another level in 1920. But let's be real though, Kante's been doing this thing, as just said, from Leicester. Only had one bad season last year, and he's just been a beast.
And he was injured quite a bit in that bad season. It wasn't even just that he.
It's mad, you know what?
I hear you.
To even compare them, they are different players. Though. I will say that as well. They're different players.
No.
Kante
couldn't play.
So this is what I'm saying. It can't just be reactionary and say no, he shouldn't, but he can. And he's one of the best in the league at doing it.
Yeah, I know, but he shouldn't be. Well, you know what we do then, bro? We don't even buy Konate. Actually, no, we do. And we just play Coutinho and Virgil, and we buy Kante and play Kante where Fabinho used to play.
This is my point. I love Kante and I love Fabinho. Why does it always have to be a comparison? Just appreciate the two players, innit?
No, true.
I didn't make the comparison.
We never said this.
No, I'm not
Someone
saying you did.
Someone brought it up.
For me, Kante's top 5 CM/box-to-box/DM.
Yeah,
in my
it is.
generation. Like, I put him above people who I used to think were the greatest, like Gattuso and all. Like, Kante for me goes in the Makalele bracket. Like, he's sensational. He's absolutely.
He can do more than Makalele. That's what he can do
ridiculous
more,
how
innit?
good
He can do
Street,
more.
Streets approved. Tem says,
He
don't
could do
forget
more.
Fab won the league at Monaco as well. Again, let's not forget about
He
these
did.
things.
No, he did.
Like, Flacco, man, he's Flacco. But at Monaco, he played at right back a lot, you know.
No, he plays CDM that season.
And Carl, remember, this is the argument that you like to use. Remember, Carl, it's French league, it's the Farmers League.
No.
You always say it when I talk about
French
Mbappe.
league is with Monaco is different though because they didn't have all the resources that PSG
Carl,
had.
come on. You always, whenever I bring up the comparison thing, you always say, no, but Matt. When I talk about Neymar, remember.
All right, whose win in the championship do you rate more, Lille or PSG win in that league?
No, obviously, Lil. Obviously.
All right, because why? They haven't got all the cards in their deck.
No, but as a whole, competition-wise, we would all say, like, as great as, you know, for, Monaco winning the league is, we're all still going to sit there and go, the league is still easier to win compared to a campaign where Kante won it with Leicester.
100%.
You get what I'm saying?
Kante winning it with Leicester will never be matched again, in my opinion. That will never be matched
Him
again.
and drink water, you know.
He made drink water look like a prime Modric. Bro. And now drink water looks like all he does is drink water.
You know what? Yeah, that Monaco achievement.
No, he don't drink water anymore.
That Monaco achievement, as amazing as it was at the time, when you look at it in hindsight, which obviously is an advantage you didn't have at the time, they actually had a better team than PSG. Really,
they built a better team and played better.
No, obviously they did it the hard way. But if you think about the fact they had Falcao and fucking Mbappe up front, they have Bernardo Silva, Coutinho, Bakayoko in midfield. Like, I'm not gonna lie, they technically had a better team.
But the defense still wasn't the greatest. I think they had like,
it wasn't the greatest. It wasn't. I'm just saying, like, that Monaco team was special. Still, I'm never gonna lie.
Let's get through the rest of this stupid.
Yeah, let's get through.
LFC Aaron said, I'd rather sign Sterling back than Coutinho. Sadiq says, evening lads, I would take him back, but Klopp won't. He had the opportunity to be a legend. He lied to us. Sorry, I'm not sorry. You snooze, you lose. Tell him again, Sadiq. Bogdan says, Coutinho, 2 knee surgeries and 3 awful seasons. I disagree with the 3 awful seasons. He was actually very good at Bayern Munich. Very good at Bayern Munich. Selection says, can't be holding grudges. This is a business at the end of the day. If you can do a job for us without paying a premium, it's a no-brainer. Good point, Selection.
There you go. There you go.
Promo says, is Coutinho turning 29 an issue under FSG's model ? Potentially. But then again, Mbappe's only 21, 22, and there's no movement there. So, you know, maybe age ain't the problem. Harry says, wasn't Haaland banging in hat-tricks in Austria? He was, but he was also getting goals in the Champions League, which Dhaka hasn't been doing. LFT Sports TV says, I'd take Coutinho all day, too good to refuse. That's fair enough. And shout out to Joseph, who's just become a new member of ours. Liam says, getting Dhaka in to replace Origi and Rafinha to replace Shaq wouldn't be the end of the world. Want Mbappe badly, but we've just got to be realistic.
I'll take Rafinha over Shaq all day, bro. All day.
Base Face in Space says, imagine Kante at centre-back. We laugh at it because he's short, but Kante could probably do a job. I'm not going to lie. He probably manipulate the position to make it his own. He's that good.
We'll probably have to go to our back 3 though. Imagine Kante in the middle, Virgil van Dijk on the right, and Kanate on the left or something.
He just sweep up everything.
Sweeping at the plane.
Right, guys. So now we're going to start the season review. So we're going to bring in our first guest who we're going to speak about goalkeepers with. Shout out to Rams. Rams, how you doing, brother?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm a bit annoyed.
Before we start, no talk about Danny Almo and no talk about Sabitzer, yeah?
I'll talk about goalkeepers, isn't it? So
yeah. That's why I brought you on in this segment. But no, thank you for coming on, bro. Much appreciated. How you keeping?
I'm good. Just all these Chelsea fans, man. There's something else. There's something else. They are.
Let them have their fun. Let them have their fun.
What Rams is annoyed about is Chelsea fans saying Kante's clear of Gerrard.
Oh, is that the talk going around?
Wow, clear, you know. Not even. Yeah. Let's not get into that.
Yeah, let's not.
Let's
Just
not.
know, Rams.
That's a Friday show. That's a Friday.
That's not even
Common
a show.
sense ain't
That's not
common.
even a show. Yeah, that's not even a show. We ain't even going to give no energy, no time to that.
Yeah.
For real.
All right, so goalkeepers for Liverpool this season just gone. Obviously, Alisson coming up with heroics in the West Brom game, which all but certainly helped us get top 4. Not to mention some of the key saves he made. Also have to look at some of the games where he did falter in, such as the Leicester game and the Manchester City game. Also have to look at Kelleher, who came on leaps and bounds this season, played a couple of games in the Champions League and the Premier League and didn't look out of place at all. But then you also have Adrian, who we also have we also bought we also bought Peter Luger under the sort of recommendation of Alisson this season, who's only featured for the under-23s and hasn't looked very convincing. So Rams, I'll come to you first as our guest. How have you rated Liverpool's goalkeepers overall this season?
It's a story of three parts of the season, isn't it? First part, Alisson was Alisson, you know what I'm saying? Like, if people forget, he put off some amazing saves, one against Arsenal, a couple against Wolves, Leicester as well. And then as soon as the centre-backs got hit with them injuries, he tried to do so much in terms of he made rash decisions, trying to get every single ball when there was no need to do it. The couple of mishandlings, couple of shots that went through him is unlike him. And then after that, we saw the Alisson that we know. Came back stronger, made those crucial saves at West Brom, and also got the goal, which you like to talk about every single day of the week. You know what I'm saying? But it's a mixed season. It's a mixed season for him. I mean, especially with the quality that he has, especially being one of the best goalkeepers in the world, it is a mixed season if you're going to be harsh. But overall, if I was going to scale it on a 1 to 10 basis, that last bit of the season redeemed his season. So I'll give him a 7 out of 10, in my opinion.
Cool. Matt, I'll come to you next. Alisson Becker, how would you rate his season overall?
I think he's had his most tested season in professional football. He started off well, had a couple of games where you're like, nah, what's going on with Ali? And obviously, you know, the loss of his father, and that really affected him. And we mustn't forget that. Any footballer losing, you know, a parent, it's going to affect them no matter what character that they have. And it's only testament to him that he was able to carry on and still do what he does. And, you know, I won't make this long, but I just think, for me, Alisson just showed the true character that he has, bro. This guy here is world-class personified. He could have maybe taken time out. He didn't. Wanted to carry on. He didn't want to back down. He rose to the challenge. And he rose to the challenge against West Brom. And that summed it up for me. That goal there said to me we would get a top 4. In my opinion, he won it for us. He got us top 4, you know. That goal there, a goalkeeper scores a winning goal in the dying seconds of a game. I don't know no other club that happens to. It's only us, because we create these incredible moments that other teams just can't do. For me, Alisson gets an 8.5/9. In fact, I'm gonna do a drift. He gets an 8.75, because even though he had some funny moments, the loss of his father and that goal. No, furthermore, no, I'm going better. Do you know, I'm giving him a 9. But now I'm giving him a 9. That goal got us top 4, and I think that goal also gives us a platform where we don't sink and we can carry on our journey. So that goal meant a lot to us, and we're going to really understand it next season when we're in the Champions League and that pot gets drawn and we're going, oh, who have we got in the Champions League? And we're going to remember it's because of my man, 9 seconds, getting us that goal as the reason why we're in the Champions League. I'm giving Ali a 9. Facts.
I tell you what, I'm getting a lot of hate from the comments saying only a 7, but anyone knows me. Callum, I got his shirt, for God's sake. I've got his shirt at home. I love him more than any other guy, but I see him.
I'm with you on this one, Rams. I'm not going to lie. I'll give him a 7.5 for the season.
I can't shy away from the mistakes that he's had I can't. And I love the geezer so much that I will be harsh on him. I will be. Like, it's as simple as that. And on that goal, yeah, I think if you ask any Brazilian, I think Ronaldo, Pele, Rivaldo, they'll say, what a header. What a header. If it was a striker, they'll say, what a header. For a goalkeeper, I don't know. I don't know. I can't fathom how a goalkeeper scores that kind of goal. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's just...
But he lost his father. Do you know the reason? Listen, I get it. 9 is high, but he lost his father in the middle of a season, bro. And we're under pressure. We are under serious pressure. Bro, without Ali's goal, we're not celebrating. We're not all joyful. We're not even... Like, last game of the season, we don't care about it.
Even if Ali didn't score that goal, I think we'd have still qualified for Champions League, though.
That's hindsight, bro.
It is, but I'm just saying.
Well, we would have drawn that game.
Last day of the season, it would have been real touch and go.
No, and I get you. Look, and I think that goal was the one that like galvanized us to get top 4. But again, and we all say on this channel, can we just up someone's rating because of one moment, or do we not have to look at the whole performance? And again, I love Ali. The header is something I will never ever forget, and I'm not going to forget about some of the great saves he made along the season as well. But again, I can't forget about some of the moments where we needed him the most, and unfortunately, he faltered because he's a human being. But
passed away before the 6 Anfield games, right?
No, I don't believe so.
Yeah, but do you know what it is, Cal? No, what Cal's saying, it's not even I disagree. But then, if that's the case, then we kind of have to look at. In fact, we'll get to it later. But you kind of have to look at even guys like Nat Phillips. Then, like, when we say things like, "Oh, man deserves rotation," that, and then you maybe look at some of the games, maybe Champions League where he's ball watching, and certain games where he got caught up, but because we won the game, we kind of overlooked it. So that's why I feel like what you're saying is true, but this game that we love is about moments, Carl. And you're right, it's about body of work. That is very true. And he's had a couple of moments where you're thinking, well, what's going on with Ali? But then, bro, my man lost his father and then managed to get it together afterwards.
Look, I won't dispute that, but I have to look at the performances.
No, fair enough. Fair enough.
Right, it's like if I was to say to you guys, Emre Can over the season, his last season for us, Emre Can was probably a 6 out of 10 for that season.
Yeah,
but he scored that overhead kick that galvanized us to get top 4 that season. We're not going to suddenly boost him up to an 8 or a 9.
But Ali's body of work throughout the season is still a lot, bro.
Way more than that, though.
Ali's done a lot, bro. It's just that he went through a period where we're like, oh, how did Ali let that in? Remember that?
I don't even think it's a period. I think it's Leicester, Man City, and Real Madrid. I just think it was 3 games where he was terrible. Other than that, he played about.
I've just said it as well. Aston Villa at home.
Because let's be real, there's been a couple of games. If Ali ain't there, we're getting packed.
He let the ball slip through his fingers against when Watkins scored. I don't
even remember the Villa game.
My memory ain't even going that far back, if I'm being honest. But I'll just be like, listen, it's each and everyone's own individual opinion. No one's wrong. I'm just saying, for me personally,
I'm going to go 8.5.
Yeah, 8.5. I agree with that. 9's a bit high when I said it.
I don't even think it is high, bro, because I feel
man lost his dad in that, and still, and got us top 4.
I feel like things have to be factored in. Nobody can tell me that losing your dad, and you know, there's losing your dad, and you don't really see him, or losing your dad and like he ain't really been in your life, but he's your dad, but like, and then there's losing your dad, your best friend, the reason you play football, the person who you look to, the person you call for advice, the person who's there every step you've made of your career. There's a difference, bro. Like we're talking about his best friend dad, not just his dad, his best friend dad. You don't get over that. Anything he did wrong during the season, now you look back at it in hindsight, anything he did during the rest of the season after his dad died,
leave it, Matt. I know what you're scrolling
you
through.
Give him a blind for it. I'm sorry, you give him a blind for it. In my opinion, you give him a blind for it. And I'm sure all the mistakes he made that I can think of were after his dad died. I think the Man City game might be the only game that was performed.
It wasn't drift.
His father passed after the Leicester game, isn't it?
Yeah.
His dad died in January, right?
No, that was Klopp's mum.
No, Klopp's mom.
Oh,
No,
was it
wasn't
Klopp's
Klopp's mum December, but we found out in January.
Actually, no, you
No.
might be right. No. I think
She
you might be
was
right
sick
still.
in December. She was like announced that she was sick, but she passed away in January.
Okay,
But regardless,
so he lost his dad in
Mm.
February, yeah?
Yeah, near middle end of February.
Drift. I hear you saying because regardless of the exact time, and that's not when I'm saying not disrespectful, but what I'm trying to say is when it happened, my man was still able to go out on the pitch and play to the best of his ability. And he had a few clangers, don't get twisted, he did. But bro, like, remember when this season finished, we were all there thinking, Rob, we got third, you know. We were done out. Like what you said, and we're still able to get third somehow. And we're always going to look back at this one moment, and that's Ali, bro. You know, when there's one moment, someone said to you, what's the one moment that you will never forget throughout the whole season? I'm pretty sure all of us will say Ali. Every 100%. One of us, if I'm not mistaken.
And he actually had, even though he did have them clangers where we were like, what the hell is going on? And don't get me wrong, he started to get even more lackadaisical about his kicking, which I don't know what that's all about.
He got comfortable.
There are a lot of games where he saved us as well. A lot of games. Do you know how many games we got a 1-0 or 2-1 and we look back and we're like, oh shit, if Ali don't make that save, loads of times we said that in reviews during the season.
Agreed.
Right, if Ali don't make that save, you know, I'm giving him at 8.5.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
and the extra 0.5 is for the goal. I don't even care if it's biased.
100%.
He scored a Harry Kane, Oliver Bierhoff level header to win a game that we needed in a crucial match for top 4. Ali. And then the interview afterwards. Probably one of the most emotionally charged, beautiful interviews I've ever seen in my entire life.
No, Ali's the guy, bro. And again, everyone's to their own opinion. And again, remember, this is just about opinions. It's not even factual. It's just how you think he done. But maybe I'm just a sentimental thing when it comes to them things there with footballers. And sometimes I think we forget they're human beings, and that's mad, bro. Like, we're talking about a guy that's always in the public eye, has to deal with it, and just has to carry on. And not only that, my man scores a goal that's able to allow his team to move on. Remember, without Ali, no Kante. Without Ali, there's no Kante. Without Ali, there's no potential signing. I'm just letting people know that, you know.
And
we move. Because I'm taking up too much time. Apologies.
You lot know firsthand what this is like as well. Remember, his wife was pregnant. That's a lot to go through as well, you know. So.
Yeah, know that feeling.
Same, ditto.
Know that feeling.
Trust me, King.
I had to take a little quick look over my shoulder to make sure.
We see man do this. Your babe.
I'm sorry, no. All right, Kelleher. How are we rating Kelleher really quickly?
How many games
is Kelleher a good enough player to be a deputy?
Yes, he is. He proved it for me. He did in the second stint.
I think he proved up to this point, yes.
Yes, in the second stint, yes.
Rams, you don't look happy with that.
I don't know. I'm still a little bit, cautious.
But based on what you saw of him, based on what you saw.
Yeah, I get that, but maybe it's because I'm a little bit more traumatized with what happened with Adrian and what he's done.
PTSD and that.
Exactly. I don't know. If it was possible to get another goalkeeper for free that is decent, I'd take it. Honestly. No doubt. Yeah. What?
So Donnarumma it is then, yeah.
Oh, no. With Raiola and his wages. I'm sorry.
That Raiola tax will be mad, but I'll take Donnarumma all day, bro. He's so far. He's fake.
But if I was gonna rate Gallagher, I'll give him. You know what? Because he's still young and so much was asked of him at that moment, I'll give him an 8. Because I think he played against Brighton. He didn't make any mistakes. I think the goal was just a free goal. Ajax, he pulled off that really good save against, was it Huntelaar? I think it's Huntelaar. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
When he was called upon, he did his business. So I can't rate him any lower than an 8, honestly.
So an 8 for me as well. Matt,
Same.
what are you saying?
Same.
And I'm going to give him a 7.5 just based on, I think at 8 is a little bit high considering he played only say 8 games or whatever it was. So if it's a whole season review, 8 feels a bit much when he only played 8 games. But what he did, he was very impressive. I can't lie.
Bruv, he was.
He went from me thinking he was actually like wet donkey shit to realizing he's actually a good player. And that takes a lot to turn someone around in like 8 games or 7 games or whatever. So I got to rate him still. I think he's going to be a good goalie.
100%. He was under pressure as well, so I have to give him an 8.
lot of pressure.
Bro, I'm not going to call him Adrian. I'm calling him Adrian. He don't deserve that. He don't deserve the Spanish flair. Call him Adrian. Yeah, Adrian.
So Adrian, then what are we saying about?
No, Adrian.
Adrian.
You don't deserve the flair, bro. Don't say Adrian. Adrian.
Would we keep him as a third choice or not?
No.
Rating not applicable.
Bro.
Yeah. No. I'm giving him a 2. I'm giving him a 2.
Why? Why 2?
Turned up, tied his shoelaces. Came to work every day, wasn't injured.
I mean, if you say it like that, then yeah, I guess you gotta give ratings to people that turn up on the pitch because it means.
And I don't want it to come across like bullying, so to speak, because we do give him a lot of flack.
No, it's not bullying, Drift. It's just more we're critiquing, innit? And it's a thing where when you're in the public eye, I think we're allowed to critique. And this is not me being disrespectful. If I think someone is not good enough for Liverpool, me personally, I'm gonna say it. And that's not me I'm not trying to do a thing where I'm, singling man out. Me personally, as Liverpool Football Club, I just think we can do better than Adrian. We can.
He went to the shop during the Aston Villa game.
I'm sorry, but the Aston Villa game really. No.
But the Villa game,
it was almost like he was standing there, and then he went, shit.
Whenever he tried
to iron out, fuck.
Whenever he
flew out, and he just went home, and you know what? His iron was plugged out. He was fucking with himself, and then he got back, and it was 7-2. That's what it felt like, because it felt like an open goal to me. Like
literally, whenever he tried to, whenever he tried to read something, he would read it like incredibly. Like I remember there was a cross from Jack Grealish, crosses it in, tries to read it, couldn't get there, and Watkins hits the post.
Yeah.
And then a lot of the goals that we conceded was from his near post. First rule of goalkeeping: never concede at your near post. I'm sorry. I look, he may be a nice guy. Like I've seen the dressing room things. Him and Allison like to vibe together. I'm sorry. No, I can't. It's just
it's real. It's
Steven Gerrard.
Adrian, you know what that is, Ram? It's because his reactions are slower than a 94-year-old.
Oh.
This sums out for me, this one there. What Steven
I'm not
Gerrard
even joking.
saying.
I reckon certain man's granddad in the back garden will probably get down to a bottom corner quicker than Adrian. I swear down down in stages, bro. I just don't. On a serious note, though, when you deep it, you're like, why did we sign him? Like, honestly, I'm gonna be real. Yeah, I'm gonna say something so controversial. Did you not watch the documentary last season that Klopp made after we won the league? I told you, bro. They had 24 hours to replace Thingy because he was going back to Belgium.
Yeah.
And Klopp actually said he pulled in Archerberg and he said, what are we going to do? And Archerberg went away and an hour later came back with a dossier of all the goalies that were free. And then man spotted Adrian in the park training to make sure he was fit just in case. I'm not bullshitting. It's a real fucking story.
Let's move on. We all agree.
We know how that story ends where he's getting packed in by kids and all them things there. It's peak.
And the fact that he only took 30 grand a week also made it really easy to convince FSG to do it as well, because Mignolet was on 90. So straight away, it was only a third of the cost of Mignolet.
Would you sign a goalkeeper?
Me?
I would.
Yeah, 100%.
What's that goalkeeper he's playing for Monaco? Is it Subasic or something?
I don't know if he's still there.
He's a free agent.
How old is he? Like 47? I'll take him, bro.
Yeah,
I'd get a new goalkeeper.
I'd bro.
I'd actually Buffon to see what he was to just do 1 year in England.
Buffon's
done. I've said it before.
He gets down quicker than Adrian, Cal.
I'll bring him back Sander, Bring up Sander, our friend of the channel. I'll bring him back Sander Vestergaard, bro. Are you mad?
I'll tell you what. I'll go for the goalkeeper from not Ter Stegen, the goalkeeper from Barcelona, Roberto Neto. Get Alisson and Neto on them things. Brazilian. You know, we could make some
Gazaniga as
leverage
well.
with Barca. You know what I'm seeing? You know what I'm saying?
Gazaniga. I don't know about Gazaniga. Can you look a bit?
He's better than Adrian though.
He is. No, you're right. He
Yes,
is.
I
Do you know what? If we can't get no one else,
the question is, do you want someone better than Adrian, or do you want someone who's a very good goalkeeper? Because that's two different questions.
that is true. No, I just want someone better than Adrian. Like real talk. I don't
But
care who it is.
With all due respect to Adrian, it's not going to be hard.
With
to find.
Gazaniga, right? He has moments for both the right and the wrong reasons. He could pull off some great saves, but he also has those moments where he would go and do a madness, like slide tackle man in the box. Like
he's crazy.
Climb onto the top of the goal and do a flying cross body in that.
Exactly. All right, but Rams, bro, we're gonna let you go. We're gonna move on to defense now. But Rams, always a pleasure having you on, brother.
I appreciate.
Make sure people you go and check out Rams as well. Make sure you support him. And
check out the football terrace as well. The football terrace.
Indeed. Shout out to Terry. Hope Terry's feeling a bit better than he was the other day. Still.
All right. Take care, guys.
Big up, bro.
Take it easy, bro. Yeah, I'm gonna read out a couple of super chats before we bring in our next guest.
Cool.
Let's do this. So. Hold on. Bogdan says Kante is a CM, not a DM like Fabinho. Very true. Shaka Laka says Elliot and Wilson to Leeds for Rafinha. Good business. For us, it would be. I don't think Leeds would do that.
Shaka Laka and who?
It would be Elliot and Wilson.
I'm not putting Elliot in that deal.
No. Unless it's on loan.
I'm guessing it would be. But even still, I don't think it would be a good deal.
Yeah, I would. I just don't. Elliot needs to. We see what he's about. Whether he makes or not,
I would let Leeds have Elliot on loan for a season to play Premier League football to get Rafinha. I'd do that.
Oh yeah, let him go. Yeah. True. To go on loan, but not sell.
Wilson can go permanently, and
sell.
Elliot can go on loan to get Rafinha. That's a year's experience in the Premier League for Elliot. That would be perfect. At least play good football. I'd do that.
Elliot ain't going nowhere though. Future number 10 in the making. You know, trust me.
I'm just going to acknowledge this person because they've done a super chat, so I will. Brian P. Why has no one spoken up against KJ after his anti-Turkish comments? Wrong. Again, I've said this before. No, I'm going to address this because Brian seems to have an issue with me personally. Brian, as I said, if you can bring me those comments, feel free to. As far as you calling me as an Islamophobe and all that, prove it. If you're going to start throwing out racial accusations, prove I'm a racist and you'll find nothing. Because I'm not racist to people who follow Islam and all those things. Anyone who knows me knows that. So Brian P, if you've got an ulterior motive, if you've got an agenda, don't block him at keep him in. He's got freedom of speech.
No, I'm not blocking him. I was just trying to see what comments he said. I'm not blocking him.
Don't say stupid things. Don't call me a racist and things like that unless you're going to prove it.
He's been saying it for ages. What did
but here's the thing. I could make accusations and call him certain names and stuff like that, but don't.
No, but what did KJ even? I need to even know what.
This is my thing. I don't know.
Are you talking about my brother KJ?
Yeah, KJ from the football.
KJ. What did he say about?
I was going to say talking about my least
Brian P never says what he says, but Brian P likes to come on there time for time rather than DM me when my DMs are open.
You know what?
You have my DM details, guys.
Let me say this.
If you've got an issue, DM me.
I don't want this
my
person
DMs are open. I'm not a hard man to find.
I don't want this person to eat up our show, yeah? Brian, if there's an issue, DM us and we can talk about it. But allow commenting in the thing and trying to waste time.
He won't. He's had my DM details for the last how many months.
If you want to speak to one of us about it, cool. If not, then say nothing directly. And if you say something that I don't like, I will block you. Then you can come beef me. I'll leave it there because we ain't got time.
I'm not going to block anyone. I'm not a hard man to find. That's all I'm saying.
No, because it's a thing where man's just wasting time.
Online, I'm not a hard man to find. That's all I'll say.
Man's just wasting time, bro.
Mario said, guess who's back? Back again. Virgil's back. Tell a friend. Virgil's back. Virgil's back. Virgil's back. No.
Big Virgil.
I need to actually watch Virgil run and play before I can get happy.
Indeed, I agree with that.
For real.
Dinesh says, evening, what do you think of pot 2 in the Champions League? It's stronger than pot 1.
It is, from what I saw, it looks mad tasty. Like Morley's in them things.
Yeah, it does. JB says, opinion, guys. The game we won, the West Brom game or win it 4-0, what would you have preferred? For me, the way we won it, you can't beat raw emotion like that. How would you preferred it? I'd have taken a 4-0.
No, hindsight will always make that question feel a certain way, because in my opinion, when we won 2-0 against Tottenham, the majority of that game was 10 times more relaxing than Istanbul, and therefore it made it easier to deal with the occasion emotionally. But for the euphoria of the way it went down, Istanbul can't be touched. Like, it can't be touched. Nobody would care about Istanbul as much as they do if we'd have just beat AC Milan 4-0. It would have been a great day in our history, but the reason why that game is what it is because of the euphoria of the comeback and then winning in the shootout. Do you get what I mean? Like, it is what it is. So it depends. It depends, man. You see, Alisson's headed goal, I live for that. That is the embodiment of what football is. Honestly, that is what the embodiment of. And if you need proof, just go look how boring that Champions League final was on Saturday. Like,
well, fair enough, Drift. I'll be honest. My heart ain't what it used to be when I was 15 watching that Champions League.
No,
final.
I hear that.
Man just wanting straightforward victories and that, but bro,
no, I hear that.
Man.
You see that euphoria to then grabbing your chest, thinking, "Oh, I wonder if this is it." Like, I don't want that anymore. Like, I don't want that anymore. I just want 2-0 across the board. I'm good with that. 1975 Jamrock says, "Sorry about Friday. Had a meeting rescheduled. Not a problem. Hope you're free this Friday."
Minor.
Watched the show later and wanted to correct something false. LFC have a self-sustaining model where they actually want to grow their commercial revenue to compete with United, not a sell-to-buy model. This is why we need you on the channel, 1975 Jamrock. I have a few rebuttals to that. What isn't fake or false, but I have a rebuttal or two to that.
You know, 75 definitely has to be part of our FSG in, FSG out episode.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. 100%,
Articulate well.
There, man.
Because, I think 97 and Rack will put very intelligent conversations on. Rack might not even actually want to back FSG, but he was doing more than what
I don't even know if 1975 Jamrock. I don't want to speak for 1975 Jamrock, but I don't even know if he's FSG in. I just think he likes to make sure there's a balanced argument, which is right. Well,
you know what? That goes in the favor of FSG in, even if you're not FSG in, don't it? Because you're putting up a fair argument for all the people who bash and just like they're crap, get them out, blah blah blah. So I'm looking forward to that episode still.
Mario says it was interesting watching the Champions League final between two plastic teams, MasterCard FC versus Visa FC, unlucky Real Madrid against American Express FC. Look, it's their way of doing things. We may sit here as Liverpool fans and say it's not the right way, but they're winning stuff. So is there a right or wrong way? That's the question.
Do you know what was quite funny? Yeah, that there was a joke that somebody, I can't remember what channel it was I was watching, but somebody put in a super chat and they said apparently the game might not go ahead because Greenpeace are actually protesting outside the stadium due to the oil spill in the pitch.
The people they come on the mad team.
People come up with the maddest things,
maddest stuff, bro.
Reason why we currently are sold to buy is because we currently don't have the commercial revenue to sustain what would we like to do to purchase players. Owo King says, "Y'all be careful of Chelsea next season." We hear that every season. To be honest,
no, Chelsea will be dangerous next season.
No, they will be.
They're going to spend. They're going to spend. They're going to spend.
We'll see. We're not going to spend long. No.
Let's move. They put themselves underdogs with their £1 billion squad just made me.
No, they're not underdogs. Never underdogs. Never.
In that game, they were underdogs, though. In that game,
they weren't, man. They just have City just have a superior.
In that game, think about it. Pep Guardiola. With them players there, we said it, Jim. We tweeted it. Pep bottled it, fam. Man was overthinking the final. Didn't play striker. Didn't play for that.
They were the underdogs in that game. I'm not talking about in life. And in
they weren't the underdogs in that game, in my opinion.
Man City should have won that. Well, when I say won, but like,
I don't think they were favourites. I think that was a 50-50 game.
No way was that a drift. Man City ate up the league. Chelsea scraped into fourth, bro.
Yeah, because they're shit overall in the way they play and all that.
Bro,
But if you
Man
don't play
City's
for player-
body of work, especially from this year,
guys,
from
player
this
for
season.
player, Chelsea's squad is just as expensive. Yeah.
That's
Doesn't mean
That
it's
was a
value,
50-50
not better.
game.
That's
Doesn't mean
value.
it's good.
Bro, Jesus, I'm not gonna lie. You see Jesus, yeah? Jesus actually is clear of Werner. That's how peak it is. Werner, I'll be real.
And
You see
Werner was
Werner?
still a £50 million striker, bro.
But we're not talking about value. We're talking about quality. In terms of
Yeah.
No,
quality,
but value is what everybody
Guys,
judges.
No, let's not get
let's
to
not do
quality
this, man.
wise, bro.
Value
Quality
is what
wise,
people
Guys,
judge
not
on.
now,
Quality.
man. Not now.
Man City
Not
are
now. We're
clear
doing a
when it comes
season
to quality.
review, guys. We're doing a season review.
yeah, my bad, my bad.
Lee and Kenny, on paper right now, VVD and Konate are going to be a monster pairing. Just hoping the big man comes back the same with Gomez and Matip and that as rotation to hopefully help avoid those injuries.
For real.
Good point.
For real.
OO says Chelsea beat Man City's C team, B team, and A team. Yeah, effectively, they did, to be fair. All right.
To be fair, they never played City's A team. In none of those games did Guardiola actually play his best team. I don't know what he was doing.
That's Pep. Right, we're going to bring in our next guest to speak about defense. Usually you see him smoking on that Casey or Corey pack.
Or sometimes on the
How is Corey doing? How is Corey? Is he all right? Not doing too good, is he?
Do you know what? He's feeling a little bit better because of Man City, but don't worry. I make sure to remind him every single day how much of a failure his club is at the moment. I make sure. Don't you guys worry about that one. You know what I'm saying?
Welcome to the show,
Trust
Monts.
me.
Big Six
What's
Bands.
going on, bro?
Big Six Bands. How you doing, bro?
Yeah, do you know what? Thanks for having me, man. Absolute pleasure. You actually caught me when I was watching the stream.
Yeah, I know.
what
I did. I had to grab you
straight
quick.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, I caught you quick.
yeah.
I'm not going to lie. So, Monts, let me ask you. We're going to speak about defense. So, we're going to speak about fullbacks first. So, we're going to talk about all the fullbacks, not just Trent and Robbo. We're going to talk about Nico and Tsimikas as well. As a whole, how do you think?
I know we didn't just say Tsimikas.
As a whole, how do you feel they performed this season?
Wingbacks. Do you know what? People aren't gonna like me for this one, but I do feel like Robbo was very played within himself this season, and I don't feel like that's almost due down to his ability. I don't think that's due to his confidence. I honestly feel like it's because Klopp's asked him not to bomb down and overlap as much as he usually does because of our defensive situation in the central defense. That's what I generally think. I don't think it's anything to do with Robbo himself. But as a result of that, unfortunately, I do think Robbo has underperformed this season. Even though not many goals did go down that left side. For me, even his crossing this season has been meaty at best. At best. You know what I mean? Got a little bit better towards the end of the season, but I think that's because the whole team was playing better. But, you know, we're so used to Robbo being so consistent with so much finesse on his crossing. Less power than Trent, but he has that finesse, and I don't think really this year he's really given us a bit of that. For Robbo anyway. Tsimikas, I mean, no hate on Simi.
It's an NA, innit? It's an NA.
Yeah, it's just the NA thing, like, you know what I'm saying?
Only thing we know about him is that he doesn't weigh much because Alisson picked him up the easiest out of everyone.
Hey, do you know what? It's
when basement food ain't got no carbs.
Hey, when he come on last minute and like he even had the bags under his eyes, I'm thinking, what sleep have you been losing? What sleep have you been losing?
Yeah, hella tired.
Yeah, he did look good.
He looked rough, bro. He looked rough.
What is he, 25, 24, 25?
No,
yeah, he's not even getting on like that.
There's no way anyone in their mid-20s should have bags like that. No way.
Hella tired, bro.
Like,
hella tired.
Them bags are supposed to be life.
When he signed, he didn't have them, though. That's just so mad.
Bro. Yeah, that's nuts, bro. bro.
Man said when you get in the basement, it's a sleeping bag and some Pringles, and then you're on your way, bro.
Now there's no carbs down there, bro. Them man, they're losing hella weight. You see now?
That's what I'm saying. But what you think Pringles are gonna keep you going? Pringles, you know.
You know what it is? He's probably snoozing on the bench every game, and Klopp just slapped him a Red Bull and go, "You're getting 2 minutes." Yeah, go. But in fact, you know, what's the thing that they put under your nose when you're out cold?
Oh yeah,
and he's like, "I'm getting minutes." All right, cool.
Many sorts of madness, you know. We had to have smelling salts when we used to do sparring, innit? Because if someone gets knocked out, you got
them salt thing.
Oh my!
That must be horrible to get. Like
yeah, a couple people didn't take to it too well.
All getting angry in that.
No, you just wake up disorientated, innit?
Yeah, no, what's going on?
What is it like? Albasol on smack?
No, it's just really strong. It like just wakes up the brain pretty much.
It's
mad
strong.
Pretty strong. I'm not even
I
gonna lie.
don't think I'll wake up the brain like that though. But no, that's not.
I've seen a couple man have to take the spin. Ain't nice, man.
I'm never gonna lie. Wherever you train, it's kind of brutal if a man in sparring needs to be woken up.
It can happen. It can just happen.
No, but it can happen,
though.
It can happen. Obviously, like things happen.
Someone went too hard. If you're sparring a man, you.
Well, bro,
no,
if you zig and you're missing lag, you could just get slept.
Yeah, you can.
But yeah, it's accurate, isn't it? Yeah, for
real.
All right. So what are we saying about
right side?
The whole, right side. Right
side. What, me first? Am I going first?
Yeah, go for it, Mons. Go for it.
See, Trent, it's like a season of two halves. I wouldn't even. Do you know what? Let me not even say two halves for Trent, because people seem to forget that when VVD did get the injury, we didn't lose a game after that for quite some time. And no one was really talking about Trent as an underperformer. He was sort of just going about his business. He wasn't getting crazy numbers, crazy assists like he usually does. But I'd say he was more going about his business. But it comes, as I said, with him, because Matt's usually said this a few times, he tends to rely on his technical ability a little bit too much at times to get him out of situations.
Yeah. I've been saying that for a while now. Yeah,
and I feel like that he fell into that sort of just going through the motions in that period up until Christmas when he was, first and second with Tottenham. And then obviously when the team when we went down, I think Trent really got the brunt of it. And I feel like even though Trent was scapegoated, there was no excuse for some of the defensive qualities that he did show over that bad period. But when you go and answer the critics, my man TAA, he has, you know what I'm saying? He went and answer the critics, you know what I'm saying? And them last 10 to 12 games,
100.
My boy Trent showed the people what he was about, And for me, I hate to use age as an example because it's men's football, but you're allowed to not be world class. You're allowed to not be world class sometimes. People want to go out about Kante. Kante's been world class for the last 6 months. Lampard and Sarri, he was meaty at best. These players are allowed. Do you know what I'm saying? I didn't want to say it. But
I mean,
you know what I'm saying? That's what I think. So I'm maybe not the best example, but he's allowed to have dips in form, and he's not perfect. You know what I mean? So, and what he's done at the end of the season showed me enough that he's the man for the team, and for me, he's going to get a solid rating from me for the end of the season just by dragging us up. Especially that goal against Villa, which had me screaming. I know I had G-Man screaming because at halftime we was wilding. I remember it. Do you know what I'm saying? Halftime we was wilding.
We was. I can't
even at halftime.
So yeah, man, Trent. I'm more on the positive side of Trent. You know what I mean? I'm not really trying to think about the defensive woes, especially when we got my man Kante, gonna be around with Trent. He's gonna have him like this. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man.
Matt, what do you reckon about fullbacks this season?
The Robbo thing is kind of hard for me because I feel like a lot of the season has been really like our memories just keep going back to January, February, March, and we can't help it. because we didn't even know what was going on. We were top of the league in December coming into the new year. And I know Robbo wasn't having his best season, but he wasn't bad up to that season.
Sorry, to cut you. Sorry, you see the Tariq thing, yeah? Bro, do you know what's so mad? I've seen Tariq Lamptey and I've seen Tariq from Power as well. That's Tariq from Power. It's mad.
You know,
I'm done. Oi, yo, Moz, before you go, you gotta say, Rainer, I'm sorry.
Hey,
Oh,
you're not taking a minute.
no, bro, it's so mad. How the hell can you look like two people? That's crazy. That is actually mad.
Big up Ethan as well from Big Six Max. He's there
Oh
playing
my
along with
gosh.
the Tariq thing as well, man.
Tariq, you know, no, big up
And
yourself, bro.
I can't stand Tariq. But
No
anyway.
one can, bro. But let's not get.
That's why he's such a good actor, though, isn't it?
Innit? No, he
Yeah.
is.
So yeah, I find it really hard to put Robbo down because I feel like during that period everybody was bad. The only thing Robbo's annoyed me with this season is I feel like he got into a habit of spamming the cross. That's the only thing, and I feel like a lot of our team became reliant on that as well. Like I was watching loads of people just spamming crosses, so it's a difficult one. I'm gonna give Robbo a 7.5. I was tempted to give him an 8, but I still think defensively he's been outstanding. And the thing that I hate that we're doing, even though I guess I see the logic in it, is we're putting these people up against themselves when we're judging this. How many left backs were better than Robbo this season? Just if you're basing it on this season, like what? Shaw, and that was it. And Shaw had the best season he's had since he went to Man United. We're comparing Robbo to Robbo. Is that fair? Robbo was a 10 out of 10 for like 3 years in a row. Is it fair to judge him against himself?
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? Like that,
I
think it's harsh to judge him against himself. So I'm gonna give him a 7. I'm gonna give him a 7.75 actually, because I think he's not quite an 8, but I think like defensively, like he was still there. And I feel like when we lost our defenders, he was asked to tuck in a bit as well. And I think that also affected Mane because their relationship down that left couldn't happen the way it normally does. Because normally Van Dijk is there to let their man do what they do. And he weren't there. You know what I mean? I think loads of factors factored into loads of things. So
can I just say, hold on.
No, Trent, I'm going to give Trent.
I know what to say.
I feel like people forget Trent came into the season injured. He missed the first couple games and he didn't have no preseason at all. Yeah. Then he tried to find some form. Then he got a calf injury that kept him out for over a month. I feel like all Trent's problem is trying to catch up with his own fitness, plus dealing with the pressures of the team playing shit at the same time. And he no longer had the two man there, Matip, Gomez, Van Dijk, whatever, allowing him to be able to do what he did. So he was asked to do a lot more defensively. And I feel like that's why he started spraying long balls a lot, because he was further back than he's used to being. Therefore, he was trying to get the ball up the field quicker because he's trying to get the ball where he normally would be physically. Do you get what I'm saying? Once he caught back up with his form, impeccable. Impeccable. As Mark said, the last 10 to 15 games, Trent was impeccable. Why? Because he was fit. He finally got himself fit and he was back to sharpness. Do you get what I'm saying? And when the team was playing shit, we all looked shit during that time. I'm giving Trent an 8.5. I think that last 15 games was 8.5. I'm giving Trent an 8.5. I didn't
even give these man ratings. I just realized.
Yeah, what's your rating, Matt? And then I'll come back to you, Monts. Go on, Matt.
Yeah, for me, Trent, I think he gets either a 7, 7.5. I'm gonna give it 7.5 because even one of his winning goals as well. I'm trying to remember Anfield where he packed it in. Yeah, I'm gonna give it. But if I just to quickly break it down, he had as Drew said, he had a bad start to the season. He had the injury as well, playing catch up, under pressure, being not even arguably, the system runs through him, being the main chance creator, him and Robbo. I felt like he answered that call. he had a couple of games where we're like, no, Trent relying on the technical ability, not really doing what he's supposed to be doing. No Hendo there meant that he had to play more of a defensive role. And on top of that, no Matic, no Gomez, like what you said. I think he had to kind of do his thing. So
are you hey.
I'm gonna be real. Trent gets. I like the way how he answered, especially towards the back end of the season. For me, he gets a 7.25.
And what about Robbo, Matt?
Oh, Robbo offensively was not at it this season for various reasons. No Van Dijk, obviously he's partnered there. Mane having a bad season as well. So I'll just make it quick. Robbo for me gets a 7.5. I think he had a more solid season than Trent. I think Trent had more higher moments, but I think Robbo was more solid. I think there were games where Robbo was tired and we kept to say Robbo needs a break, but I think you have to give it to Robbo. That left-hand side, no matter how bad it's been, whether it's been Jota or Mane, he's held his own, especially defensively. And what do you want from your left back or your wing back, so to speak? You want him to defend, and that's what he was doing. His attacking output wasn't that great. I'm still giving him a 7.5. I'll leave it there.
Months.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I agree with what Matt said. I feel like Rob's been very steady. So for me, he gets a 7.5. I'll give him a 7.5. But for Trent, the reason I'm gonna go slightly higher for Trent is because the critics, what they were saying about TAA was mad, and it takes a character at a young age to go, yeah, be right back. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for me, I'll gotta give Trent a 7.9. I'm not gonna quite give him the 8. I'm gonna give him a 7. I'm gonna give him a 7.9 free recurring. That's
worse than my fracture.
Yeah, that is.
And you know, just quickly before we move on from Trent, before you see all of these pictures circulating of Reece holding the Champions League, like get the fuck out of it.
Don't.
Trent's been doing that since the first digit in his age was a 1.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying? Like, what are we talking about? Don't get sucked in. Through puberty, bruv, and getting the moustache growing in and that, and he's kissing Champions League. Get the fuck out of here with that.
Bro, don't get sucked into them things.
Yeah.
Because remember,
self-awareness though, man. I just want people to just have some self-awareness, man.
If I'm not mistaken,
it's not gonna happen.
If I'm not mistaken, Reece James was playing across a midfield 4, right? Because they were playing a 3-4-3, right? If I'm not mistaken, that means they're having to shoehorn players to make sure they are stable. Trent went up there as a right back, done what he needed to do. Went up against Son and them, man. We didn't have to cater to man and be like, oh, bro, you got these weaknesses. We need to try and take away from your weaknesses, fam. We need to come. We need to bring you to midfield to save you. We didn't do none of that with Trent, bro. Trent, we just said, play right back, do your thing, and we'll be fine. Allow that.
Bring Reece to me when he has a Barcelona semi-final moment. Until then, shut the fuck up.
Reece James, you know.
For me, this season, I actually think Robbo's been better over the course of the season than Trent.
More consistent. That's what I said.
I think Trent's had more moments, but I can't forget about certain periods like the Southampton game at their place, for example, where he gave away the ball a stupid amount of times, and other games where he just wasn't at it. The Man City game at home where he just was really poor.
Madrid as well.
Yeah, Madrid. I think Robbo has been way more consistent than Trent. However, I think Trent's had higher peaks, but he's also had much lower lows. Robbo's sort of been a steady, slightly upward curve all season, and then slightly dipped off when we had the poor run of form between January and March, and then came back again. Whereas Trent started really well, dropped, got back up a little bit, dropped again, and then towards the end of the season was absolute fire. So if you look at that as an average, I think as an average, I'd probably give Trent a 7 over the course of the season. For me, Robbo gets a 7.5. Up until January, I think Robbo was our best player.
Robbo was 6 still.
Carl, I got a quick question, really quick question, actually. How come you didn't bring me in for the winners?
For the what? You know why? You know why?
Sure?
For the what? For the what? Sorry?
For the wingers. For the wingers.
I'm starting questions.
Obviously, smoking kills, innit? Goalkeeper killed.
He wanted someone else. I know you wanted to smoke up one guy.
Before we let you go, Mont, centre back situation. Obviously, we lost Van Dijk. We can't even give him a rating. Gomez, same. We lost Gomez. Can't give him a rating. Matip, I don't even think it's fair to give Matip a rating.
I mean,
Kabak again came in January, got injured towards the end of the season.
Matip can get a rating.
yeah, Matip can definitely.
You guys reckon Matip can get a rating?
Yeah, because he played enough games. You know what it is? Matip made a
played
statement to the. Yeah, he did.
Right, I'm not gonna do
He
ratings.
played
for
as
the
many
centre-back.
games as just under. Like, he plays. Well, go on,
Yeah.
go on.
I'm gonna ask you to rank these from best to worst. And when I say worst, I'm not saying any of these were crap. I'm gonna ask you to rank them. So best to worst.
Yeah.
Matip, Phillips, Kabak, Reece, and Fabinho. Because I think Fabinho has to be in there as well.
From best to worst.
From best to worst, yeah.
All right, so at the top has to be.
Fabinho at the top.
Okay. Do you all agree with that?
Is it Fabinho alongside Phillips?
Fabinho, then Phillips.
Okay.
Then
You sure?
then Kabak, then Matip, then Reece.
Okay.
Okay.
Mons, do you agree with that?
Okay.
No, it's an interesting take.
No, because I'm gonna be like, for me, Fabinho and Nat Phillips kind of have to be on a. But listen, I can't believe I'm saying this. Nat Phillips you have to give him a rating, bro.
No, but I do give him rating. 100%.
He has to be at the top.
No, but bro, he's got to be alongside.
No. Flacco was impeccable at centre.
Drift. Are we gonna sleep on the fact of? There were times even when Flacco played centre back and we were a little bit kind of nervy. There's a couple of games, bro.
No, bro. I'll be honest with you. This season, he didn't have one poor performance at centre back.
He did.
Man City.
What bad game did Fabinho have?
Bro. Carl, put me in the background. Carl, put me in the background. Let someone else come on.
No, what bad game did Fabinho have?
Man City at home, he had a bad game in that game.
He acted like Flacco
I
was.
feel like that game was just Alisson's fault, really.
No, Fab had a bad game in that.
No. Can we also say with Flacco as well? Like, I do feel like with Fabinho, and correct me if I'm wrong here, I think we won one game with him playing centre back. And when he was playing centre back in our bad period, we didn't.
No, that was in the bad period, not in the beginning of the season.
Because there's a stat that it was really bad whenever he actually played defense compared to even when he played midfield. And I'm not saying that's down to him. But I do feel like at times he was turning so slow. He was looking so really stiff. So for me, he goes second. But for me, he goes second.
I just think they have to be joints first, maybe. Like, it's kind of mad because even though
I don't remember Fabinho having one bad game centre back.
No, bro. It's not for going to now because obviously you've got people waiting. But I'll just say this. I'll just say for me personally, Fab and Nat Phillips might be a joint first because even though Nat Phillips, he had a couple of games where you're like, right, he got beat or whatever. When you think about what Nat Phillips done towards the end of the season, and even like how many games on a stretch where he went on our best run out of the 10 games or 12 games it was, and we were beating teams, he was part of that reason. So you have to put respect to him. Bro, we're talking about a limited defender who knows to use the attributes that he has, he uses them till they're burnt out. Like, let's say there's 10 attributes and he's only got 5. You see them 5, they're about to burst, fam. He uses all 5 to the maximum. That's it.
It's a shame the season even. Do you know what it is? It's a shame the season even ended because I think Nat would have got even better. I saw in that Palace game, Nat was playing the ball. I remember the ball come out the air and he must have flicked it with the outside of his foot into Wijnaldum.
Why are we shocked? Generation.
It's true though. No, it's true.
I done told you, look. Naldini, Filipino is generational.
I said Nat.
Do you not honestly think Nat Phillips, even though I rate Nat what he did amazingly high, you don't think he was better a centre back for us than Fabinho this season?
No, I've got him second. But
I think there's for me personally, I think there's a conversation. There's a conversation.
Yeah, it's a conversation.
It's generational, isn't it?
In my opinion, anyway, it's conversation.
He's better than
I'm giving Fabinho as a centre back a 10 out of 10, and I'm giving Phillips a 9 out of 10.
That's fair enough.
Come on,
A 10, Drift, a
yeah.
10.
No
He's
one.
a
No,
midfielder that played centre back and was arguably the best centre back.
I'm not going
we've
10.
got to judge them how they played in that position.
Yeah,
Like Henderson,
tennis, man.
Because
He was the
Henderson,
best centre back in the
No, but
league.
because
Drift
Henderson
trying to
looked
say
okay
10
centre-back.
means perfect. He weren't perfect, bro. He weren't.
Right. Do you lot forgetting that for about 3 or 4 months, Fabinho was the best centre back in the league?
I'm not
I
saying
hear
that,
you,
but I'm just saying.
as
Up
Matt
until
just said,
Christmas,
10 means perfect.
Yeah.
You know what? But I'm taking into consideration the fact that he's not actually even a centre back.
Bro, I hear you. But was he perfect even playing in that position, bro? Was he perfect?
For me, he was outstanding.
Bro, you're forgetting. If we watch the tapes, there was games.
I think he was outstanding up until Christmas. When the whole team was crap, Fab was crap. Like
I still think he was.
Done what he could.
Bro, there were games where we were saying things like his centre-back partner might have played a little bit better than him.
No, I don't even know.
Bro, the tapes are there.
Fair enough.
But again, when we say these things, it's not even disrespecting. But it's he's up there.
He's still up there. Like he's still up there.
Fab is probably number one. He probably is. And him and that Phillips are fighting, but you know what I mean? We moved.
He only fell off in the last 3 or 4 games, and I think that was exhaustion.
Do you know what? And do you know what, Jeff? Now that I do think about it, I think you might be right in terms of, especially when you come back from that calf. Was it a hamstring injury?
Yeah, he had about a month back himself.
Yeah, when that first game back, them first 2 games he come back, he was wobbly, but apart from that, he was pretty sound. But then he went straight back into midfield. So it's a difficult one. It's
up to you, but I think
we moved. Cal, we got the
Last one before we let you go, Mons. Everyone, Nico Williams. Do we keep him or do we loan him out?
Loan him out.
Loan
him.
Fair dues. Mons, I'm gonna let you go, bro. I'm gonna move on to the next section.
Always
a
pleasure.
Big up, my brother.
Check out Big Six Bants.
Mons, in the title there.
And if you haven't already, people, make sure you check out. I shouldn't even really say this because they're not really partnering us, but check out Netflix as well. So they got Power. We've got Tariq in the building. Shout out Tariq. What's going on? Seller to go. Seller. Tariq, right now, on a real though. Why?
Before you go, the people want to know what you're giving yourself. I know you didn't finish the season, but what are you giving yourself?
Oh my god!
But you know what? You should end it with, yo, big up Uncle Tommy. No, big up, Mons.
Nothing but love, Mons. Thank you very much.
Love, my bro. Extended part of the family, my G. You know,
love that, man. You love me. Means the world to me, man. For real.
Appreciate it, my bro.
Take it easy.
All right, take care, guys. Yeah.
Take care, bro.
All right, we're going to bring on our next guest, who we're going to speak about centre midfield. Sorry, we're going to speak about midfield and attack, and then we've got the one and only Grizz coming on to speak about a very hot topic that I think Grizz is probably the best person to speak about.
Indeed. And I just want to say, I apologize now because Grizz, I know you're waiting. It's my fault. Time, we're a little bit thing on time, so you can blame me for this one.
He's thumbs up from Grizz. The man's all right.
Yeah, he's all right. But I know he's gonna cuss me after.
Yeah, he'll definitely tell us off of
He's
camera.
gonna cuss me. He ain't gonna cuss you. He's gonna cuss me. You're gonna cuss me. Big up
next on the channel, a familiar face, a legend in the making. Conroy, how you doing, bro?
Jeez.
Good, guys. You hearing me okay?
Yes, we see you, bro. We see. How you doing, bro?
Good, guys. I was enjoying that. I was buzzing at Drifty was sticking up for Andy Robertson there, or I would have had to completely change my full segment because I was thinking there was a bit recency bias there. The guys had a shocker for about a month with Trent, and then Robbo's not being beat once down his side, but it's not fashionable to say that, is it sometimes? But no, so Drift, thanks for sticking up, mate. I don't have to change my segment. I'm only joking.
Robbo's my guy, bro.
No, I know. He's been great.
Right. Centre midfield, a bit similar to centre backs because our players have had to be moved around because of the centre back situation. So, Conrad, I'm going to start with you. What have you made of our central midfielders this season? And overall, what do you see as the future, especially with Gini Wijnaldum moving on? Could Curtis Jones step up? I mean, Naby Ox, are they ever going to be good enough and fit enough to take over that mantle of what they should have been when they came into the club? What's your overall thoughts on how this season went for central midfielders?
I think, to be honest, I mean, you all know I'm not. I don't mix my words sometimes when it comes to. I don't fall for the hype narrative that is Liverpool Twitter, if you know what I mean. Definitely, I would say I've said since Thiago signed that Thiago has been underwhelming this season, but it'll work out next season and it'll be fine. Just going to take a bit longer. Different reasons for that. People love to make excuses for that, but there is factors for that. It's just the type of player he is. But I've never once been worried that he'll be great for us. And I think you saw that towards the end of the season. But it doesn't mean you get to just give him a 9 out of 10 for the season. He has been underwhelming. He's meant to be one of the best midfielders in Europe, Champions League Team of the Year. That's not good enough. So I'm looking forward to next season with Thiago, but you need to call it like it is and stop because he does a karate kick pass against Leipzig, think he's the best thing since sliced bread. I've not got time for stuff like that. It's just annoying. Sorry, I just like because I was having a conversation.
Stop you, Conroy. You see, if my little one acts up, yeah, I'm sending him over to you.
No, I just Drifty says it all the time. Sometimes it's the face fit. So say like Curtis Jones, young boy, steps up against Sheffield United in a massive game, but when we review the season, it's like Jones has not been as good, and I'm like, Curtis Jones is not expected to be this great midfielder. Thiago is, and he wasn't, and I'm not having a go at him. I think he will work out, but I just think, I just get a bit annoyed sometimes. It's like it always seems to be different energy for different players, and I guess that's football. But I feel like Thiago come good. Curtis Jones for me stepped up. I know I watch all your shows, guys. There was a point in the season where we were saying, right, Fabinho's player of the season, and Jota had played well, but probably third or fourth. You would say at that specific time when he's getting games, Jones was stepping up. You know, he was. He's not going to. For me, Curtis Jones is never going to be a world beater as a midfielder, but I think he held his own when he played in games, and I think he was quite good. Like West Ham, he came on, got the assist. That was the Milner debacle with him and Klopp at the side. So I think he's done well. I'd say going forward, a lot of some folk have been saying Jones to go out on loan. I don't know if he's feel that way. For me, I feel like that would be the wrong move. For me, young players, I say this all the time, academies are like businesses. They're not like there's this obsession about academies. Like not many top 6 teams take academy players. Trent's an anomaly, and Curtis Jones, because of the way it's worked out with games this season, it's an anomaly that it's worked out, and he's got to take that. So I think actually putting him out on loan would be the wrong thing. I think he can do a job, not necessarily starting every game, but I think Jones, he could play next season. And the rest of the midfield, you spoke about Naby. Sorry, Matt. Mate, I love Matt and I love your laugh, mate, but I don't think you're going to laugh when I say this. But I think you're the most honest person, though. You've said yourself, you think Naby's time's maybe up. You've done the rehabilitation. I just think, I guarantee Naby Keita will go somewhere and be amazing or be very good. But I can't see it being at Liverpool. There's too many things that have not working, and I just, for me, I feel like you can probably still sell Keita. I know Atletico Madrid's been in talks, and get some money that we can do stuff with the buy to sell model. Ox for me, because of the rumours they've said that Ox might. Klopp's definitely got a soft spot for Ox. He definitely has. You can just tell he's one of his favourites, a bit like what Ings was and Lallana was. And I feel like, I know I think I'm sometimes a bit biased with Ox, but see, because of he's an impact player. So for me, in my head, if Ox can ever get to the level he was previous seasons, he doesn't have to start. I think he's one of those players who'll settle for coming on and making an impact. And that's why I think Ox will stay. I think Keita will go in the summer. I think Origi has to go, but he seems to survive every transfer window. I would survive as well for 100k a week, to be fair. So fair play to him. You know what I mean? I would as well. Is he not? No. But no. But I mean, but I just think. I think regarding the midfield, that'll be us next season, and hopefully we get another centre mid in. I know we're all talking about Bissouma, Rodrigo De Paul. I never actually looked into him until Matt mentioned it, and then it's been non-stop. He looks very good as well. So regarding our midfield, I would say the best midfielder for us this season, in my opinion, because obviously Fabinho's been centre back a lot. I would probably say the most impressive has been Jones, and you could probably. I don't know if you'd say Gini's maybe been the most consistent. I know he's not been great every game, but as you say, availability is. So it's probably been overall quite an underwhelming season for our centre midfields overall.
Does anyone disagree with what Conroy said there?
The only part I disagree with is Thiago.
Spot on, yeah. Actually,
I feel like being assaulted in your second game after recovering from COVID and then missing all that time with injury. You know what? There's a difference between an excuse and a reason. Do you see what I'm saying? Like if I'm late to an event and I get there and I all I did is just sleep in, and then I try, that's making excuses. But if on the way there I was attacked and I had to do a police report, there's a reason. I'm still late, but there's a reason I'm late, innit? Like I feel like with Thiago, what happened to him this season with his poor form, there's a reason. People will call it excuses, but for me, it's the reason. You're adapting to a new country. You get COVID, which I think a lot of people just play off because we think because they're sports people, they'll get over it. Go and ask certain man, do you know what I'm saying, what it's like when they've actually got it, who took way longer to look at Cody, you man, in UFC. Like he was like done for like what 6 months or something, or 4. It took him months before he could start training again. Like
he had a bicep injury as well.
I know, but remember he himself was saying he caught pneumonia from the COVID.
Yeah,
like he was man down for a long time. So
Hamzat as well.
I'm not saying that happened to Thiago, but I think a lot of people are way too dismissive of, he got COVID, he's a sportsman. No, it could have played a part in his recovery or his physicalness as well. Then he got assaulted. Then he missed 3 months through that bad injury. So he didn't get a chance to get used to the rhythm of the Premier League or how we play as a team. And then I think if you look at from when he came back in January, the progression of how he got used to us and got better and better, then you put a midfielder in midfield that allows him to play where he's meant to play, because he was being asked to be the furthest defensively back. And we've got him running around like a headless chicken in a lot of those games. You can't ask Thiago to start doing the Kante Fabinho legwork. That's not his game. Like, you just can't. You know what I mean? That's not where you're going to see the best of him. And I think the last couple of games where he's come on leaps and bounds and shown what he's about is when you put Flacco back in midfield, he's had Genie in there with him, and he's been able to actually start playing where he was. And the last couple of games, he was dictating, like man was Phantom of the Opera out here, bruv. I thought man was in London watching a play, bruv. It was different class, different level. Plus, he's my screensaver, so I'm going to be biased anyway.
No, I think it will be brilliant. I've never once doubted that drift. I just think, do you know what the thing is for me? It's when he done something good that for a player of that caliber can do, and it was not you guys, but it's like, oh my god, this is unbelievable. Where it's like, we've bought a player of that caliber, they should be able to do that. I'm not saying every game, and I do hear what you're saying with the reasons, and I wouldn't say it was necessarily excuses all the time. I'd say the injury is a great point, COVID's a great point. For me, it was just like, see, you talk about the erratic things. Now, I looked into this before. See, like in the Bundesliga, his pressing stats are actually pretty good. But he has got moments where you just think, what are you thinking? You know, like when he's... But I actually thought that might have been because he's just not used to the league, if you know what I mean. He's not used to... He's adapting to the pace of it. So that might be the reason for that.
I think it, and obviously in the Premier League, smaller, shorter, less kind of strong guys maybe throw their weight around a little bit more to keep up. Do you get what I mean? And I think sometimes he was a little over rambunctious or whatever you want to call it. Just like trying to just make sure man know they couldn't bully him, innit? You know, when you're like, no, I don't want to say little man syndrome, but you know that when you're smaller than everyone, you got to be a bit louder, be a bit more rowdy, so people know they can't push you around. You know what I mean?
100%, guys. I won't tell you my height, but I'm not touching 6 foot, so I wouldn't worry about
that. You know what I mean? Like if you look at the celebrations the other day when when Alisson scored, yeah, and everyone was hugging, Thiago looked like someone brought their little brother. Did you see where like that in terms of the highlight? Trent towers over him. Like, he is a little guy. Do you know what I mean? They've got to throw his weight around a little bit. And I get it. It does worry me. Sometimes, if we're like 20 minutes into the game and Thiago gets the yellow, I'm like, oh, shit. This might be a bit techie now for the rest of this game. But I feel like even that he's kind of learned to adapt to. Listen, he's just learning how to get used to the league, man. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's just, listen, we got the best midfielder in the world. I'm just going to say. He didn't perform that way this season, but we have the best midfielder in the world. I just let everybody know. So I
won't keep you people long. I'll just say this. Thiago came in with the biggest hype you have ever seen from any Liverpool player that we've signed in recent memory. Yeah. He came with the biggest hype. And if it wasn't for that injury, I actually think he would have been playing like how he was playing for the last 10 games or ever, like for the whole season. I think even though we've been like chopping and changing midfield and whatever, defense, and he's had to change roles. I just think him being so good, he would have been doing what he was doing for a long time, conducting and doing what he's able to do, because he's a conductor. And don't get me wrong, he's adapted as well as time's gone on in terms of being aggressive and knowing when to kind of like not be aggressive. You know what I mean? He's picked up a couple of yellow cards now. But let's be real. Without Thiago, again, he's another mainstay in terms of why we even got to third place. That man was conducting everything. So I think he's been a mainstay. He's only going to get better and better. I understand what Conrad means. Maybe it's more to do with like the hype of him coming in and thinking he's going to be the buy-in Thiago. Whereas when he came to Liverpool, he got assaulted, like what you've said, and was playing with how many different midfielders week in, week out. So it was very different. And asked to do a different role. Without him, though, we don't move. We stand still or we drop in it. So for me, he was still integral. For me, dare I say it, he was still arguably our most integral signing over the summer, maybe over Jota. Because even though, hear me out, and I say maybe. Jota had the goals, but Jota also got injured for 3 months, I think it was. I don't think Thiago was out for 3 months, if I'm not mistaken, yeah? And dare I say it, towards the back end of the season where it really counted, maybe there's an argument to say Thiago performed better than Jota. Because I feel like when Jota came back, Jota weren't the same. Jota was still trying to catch up. Jota was like having them games. You're like, he's not the same Jota, man. Like, bro, like hopefully he gets back to his best. So I leave it there. I still think Thiago's been a massive signing. We move. For me, I give him.
Oh yeah, we have to do the ratings, isn't it?
The thing is, I wasn't going to do individual ratings for the midfielder because it's been such a choppy change.
Oh, as a whole, yeah. Let's just.
I'm going to give the midfielder rating as a whole because
as a whole, what should you say? 7.5?
Yeah, I say a 7. I mean, I agree with both points of view with the Thiago thing. What it is, the best of Thiago we saw was because of Fabinho.
Yes,
and for me, Fabinho, not only as a centre back was phenomenal this season.
Yeah.
As a CDM, it's not a coincidence. The moment he came back into central midfield, things just got better because he's that guy. He's that guy.
Even though I don't disagree with you, Kat, I think it's a little disingenuous to say Thiago only performed because of Fabinho.
No, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying his performance is dramatically
improved. So the best of him
because he went into the position he's good at.
But that's fair to say, though. Yeah, that's fair to say.
Because who allowed him to go and do that, Drew?
Yeah,
no, but you know what? I feel like that's a bit disingenuous because that's a little bit like playing a player out of position. It's almost a bit like, I don't know, say Firmino was out all season and Salah was up front and Salah weren't really playing well. And then Fabinho comes back from injury and then Salah goes back to the wing. We're not going to say he unlocked, like him coming back unlocked Salah. It's just Salah went back to his best position.
No, but I'm
not saying he unlocked Thiago. I'm saying Fabinho coming into midfield changed the whole dynamic of that team.
No, I know. Thiago, I can't even lie.
It was like Thiago started to play well because of Fabinho, and I feel like
no. We just saw the best of Thiago when
I think don't get the exact words, and I'm saying that felt disingenuous.
No, I said the best. I said we saw the best of Thiago when Fabinho was in the team, which I think is fact.
Because of Fabinho, you said.
Well, yeah.
I think putting someone in their right position, that's just a bit
all he's saying is this: Thiago was playing well before Fabinho came, but when Fabinho actually came back into CDM, we saw an even different.
We saw that's true, but I think it's also because he went into his preferred position.
Yeah, because of Fabinho came in, bro.
And not only because Fabinho came in, because of how Fabinho is performing as well.
I'm not discrediting Thiago.
I'm just saying it just feels a little bit disingenuous to only act like he only played well because Fabinho was playing.
Bro, let me say this.
Henderson also played DM and Thiago wasn't putting in the same sort of performances as when Fabinho was there as well.
But Fabinho actually had 4 very poor games at the end of the season, and Thiago was man of the match in a lot of those games. I'm just saying it's a little disingenuous to say Thiago only performed because of Fabinho.
Bro, we gotta keep it rolling. Listen, let's keep it rolling. But listen, all I'm saying is this: it's like he's saying we saw. Let's give an example. Virgil van Dijk performed better when he was next to Gomez, other than Nat Phillips, so to speak. So even though Virgil's playing well, we saw an even better Virgil because when Spurs are playing next week,
that's fair.
that's all man
I
saying.
just didn't like the Thiago started playing well because of Fabinho.
No, he never said that.
He did. No, he actually did.
We got to keep it moving. We'll be here all night.
You lot do this to me a lot, and
It's probably me that said that. I said,
Conroy,
I said, Fabinho.
Sorry, not even to put you on the spot, Conroy. What did I say?
No, I think it just got lost in translation. I think Cal was just trying to say that like he's played the best he's played for Liverpool has been when Fabinho's been there. Not that he had all poor performances before that. Not necessarily locking on, but it's a bit like when all the pieces fit, you're going to play. That's like if we have Van Dijk and Gomez in that team as well, like Trent and Robbo are automatically going to go up a level, aren't they? So that's what I took from it. But what I would say just to add to that. Yeah, but what
just felt disingenuous.
Yeah, no, but see, I think because I started off.
Conroy's on VAR today. Hey, big up, listen.
No. Look at all
you
side
saw
flag.
the thing.
No. But what I was going to say though, I just wanted to add this quickly on Thiago. This is probably the best thing that's ever happened to him football-wise, in the sense of won a trophy every year. He's probably came into a team where he's been used to. It's not a luxury, but he's been used to football either at Bayern Munich where he's had a lot of protection, still great passers, and in Barca. And then he's played in a team who've lost the two Colossus or three, you count Matip centre backs, had to scrape. Well, not scrape. We got there in third eventually, but he's probably not been in an environment like that I can think of possibly once in his career. But for me, it's like this is probably the best thing that could happen to him because he's ended the season really well. He feels part of a squad, something that's that ending of the season. I think most Liverpool fans are buzzing for him next season because he looked to me. I don't know if you disagree. It looked like he had his confidence back. I'm not saying it had completely gone, but he was second guessing quite a few balls, I thought, in the season, like a simple pass of his standard. Where the game against Palace in the last day and a few games before that, to me, it just feels like it's becoming more natural with the fullbacks. And see if he's on the right-hand side and Robbo's down that left. I think that's going to be outstanding next year. So I'm very excited.
It's just adapting. Yeah. Fabinho was at centre back when we played away at Chelsea at the beginning of the season. Thiago came on and set records. I'm just saying, I get the logic of what you're saying because I agree to an extent. Once you got a proper defensive midfielder, then that means Thiago can do what he does without worrying about defending instead of him defending. I do get the logic, but to just say, oh yeah, Thiago started performing well because of Fabinho, is taken away from Thiago doing well, in my opinion, because I think a lot of players, when they're in their right position, play better than when they're out of position. So
he didn't do well.
If I misheard, then I'll hold my hands up. But I'm sure I heard because of Fabinho. So I'll rewatch the tape, and if that wasn't, then I'll apologise. If it is, then I know why I was.
We'll laugh about this next year when he's in the Premier League Team of the Year. So it'll be fine.
I will say. I think next season, he's going to be pretty much unplayable. And when he is in that form, I don't think any midfield is going to be able to deal with him.
For real.
So it'll be interesting to see.
The guy's sensational.
Yeah. But Conroy, bro, we're going to let you go and bring on Ryan LFC next to speak about the attack. But always a pleasure, Conroy. Always
big up, guys. Okay. See you later, guys. Take care. Cheers, guys.
Take care.
Take care, bro.
All right. Ryan LFC, how you doing, brother?
Doing good, bitch. In the Wi-Fi, give me a warm time, bitch.
You're on Virgin.
You're really low. You're really low.
You sound low. If you can boost your volume, Ryan, if you can hear us.
Yeah, hear me?
Yeah. But if you can you boost your volume a little bit if you can? I don't know if you can, though.
Yeah, hear me now?
You're still
we can hear you, but it's just really low, bro.
You sound low.
Really low.
How about now? Let me hear you say something, right?
Mic check 1, 2. You hear me now?
Sound low.
Yeah, still quite low. Still quite low.
Yeah, hear me now?
That's a bit better. We'll run it. If you can, pull the mic closer to your mouth slightly if you can.
Come on.
Let me hear you say.
No,
it sounds like low, he's like, it's like you can tell that he's got a problem. Right? We'll run it. Go on. Let's run it. Everyone mute while Ryan's talking so we can hear him clearly. Everyone mute.
Cool. So, Ryan, obviously we brought you on to speak about the attack. So obviously this season the attack's been very up and down. Salah's probably been the only consistent one throughout the season, but even he's had his moments this season. Mane started well, then fell off, and then towards the end of the season we started to see the real Mane come back a little bit. Firmino had a couple of clutch moments, but overall just showed he's not the number 9, in my opinion, to take us further. Then obviously Jota came in, did some really great things, scored some really important goals, but then got a really bad injury. And then you've got the likes of Shaqiri, Origi, Minamino, who just didn't establish themselves at all this season and have kind of put themselves in the window to be sold. In your opinion, Ryan, how would you rate Liverpool's attack this season?
Origi, sell. Listen, before I go to Origi, we don't want to upset nobody, especially Gifty. But I'm going to say this before we get into it. My one are going to be short. It's not going to be 15 minutes. Short and spicy, right? First and foremost is no Liverpool fans in history at this football club telling me they want Philippe Coutinho back to the club. Are you guys mad? He's a traitor, bro. He's a traitor. I don't want him back at the club. Oh, this guy act, same sick. And when him gone at the Brazil national team, he just seemed fed up, he want to leave. No, bro, we don't need these traitor back at the club, Betty. We can do much better. We team bigger than Coutinho right now. We leave our win so much time. We don't need Coutinho back at the club. All of him is the greatest player at this moment, Jeffy. I don't care. I don't need him. He's a Judas. He worse than the girl who messed me up in my house, bro. I don't need him back. Let's tell you that now. So let's move on again. People say they're not hearing me, bro.
Is your mic's plugged in and everything, yeah?
Yeah, mic plug in.
Do you know right? Plug out your mic and plug it back in again because it sounds like it could be short circuited or something. If you can hear me.
Hear me now?
It sounds like you're underwater, bro.
Yeah, hear me now?
No,
it just sounds like you're very low, like the level of that.
Really
yeah, hear me now?
It's the connection.
A little bit better.
Still a bit better. Do me a favor. You see on what we're using. There's cam mic settings, yeah.
Yeah.
Click on that and then go to audio. And then where it's got automatically adjust mic volume, unclick that, and then it should allow you to set the volume you want. Or turn up the volume.
Though. I can hear feedback.
No, but that's only because he plugged his mic out.
Yeah. Of course. I'm just saying though. So
yeah, hear me now?
Yeah. That's better.
Yeah, hear me now? It should go there now.
Yeah. There you go.
It should good.
Yeah, sound way better now. Way better.
Gifty, you hear me just a while ago, right?
About Coutinho, yeah, man, merge you, bro.
Yeah, we don't need him at the football club. He worse than the girl who mess me up in my own bed. I don't need him, bro. I am a loyal person and I cherish loyalty. This girl messed me up in my own bed, my glass, everything. Coutinho worse than that girl, bridge, and I don't need Coutinho back at the seriously.
I broke my heart as well, bro. I get it.
Bro, I never in love with no more Liverpool player again. This guy, why in love with somebody Coutinho jersey? Coutinho jersey, me have to burn them up, brother. He's a bro. And I need him, bro. We can do much better. That's all I'm saying. This is why I don't have no favorite Liverpool player. I like Origi, but not from since I start the review of my channel, not a favorite Liverpool player. I support the team. So player like Origi, it's time to go. Big man thing, Jeffy. It's earth, but I want my favorite player.
With that, bro.
We can do much better. Origi.
I want to watch him bat it up for someone else now. You get me?
Minamino, go. All of these players, we're not adding nothing to the attack. We're not playing consistent in the team. We don't need them. We can put them on the shop list and get better. Mane, I'm going to tell you the truth. Mane lost a little bit of space, and I'm going to say this, Gifty. If I were FSG at this moment, I would cash in on Mane.
Bomba clot. Jesus Christ.
Man, no, God no, I swear, I would have cash in pan Mane. You understand? And we can bring in someone. Listen, Gifty, I understand what you say, but we can't make the team get old pan we. We can't make the team go want to be successful. We know FSG not going to spend 150 million per player this summer. They're going to sell. Is that the right thing to do? No. We think we should add to the team. But may I tell you the truth, I would sell Mane at this moment. You cannot sell Salah. Firmino never worth nothing. Chum change. Seriously, bro. Seriously, bro.
I didn't see that one coming.
And then the next thing, bro. I would sell Nat Phillips. Not good enough for our level, bro.
He's selling Nat Phillips as well.
Bro, he's not good, bro. He's not good for our level. He's not good, bro. And I have this and everybody across me. He's not good. He's not good.
Come in and mash up the whole place.
No, seriously, Jiff, he's not good. Sell him, burn interested in 10 or 12 million. No, bro, we want better for the football club. Was listening to all of you guys when at work. Nat Philip not good. Nat Philip, I know this man put in 10 or 15 game. Him not good. Navigator, him not good. Axel Chamberlain, I love you gone to bed, bro. It's time to move on, bro. We have too much baggage. We have too much baggage. We're doing too much baggage.
You come in there and you beat up all three of us individually.
Seriously. No.
Ryan came in and did that. You know when flipping not boys in the hood the spoof. What's the drinking your menace? Yeah, don't be a menace. Yeah. Man just came in there and just cleaned out everywhere. You know that when all the kids are just
just start swinging. The way brother just starts swinging.
Nah, you know what it is? Man done a 50 Cent how to rob. Straight.
Bro, I'm mad. Straight. Listen, bro, I'm mad with the chair on it, bro. More time I work on the phone and I'm pocket and I listen. I'm ready for when I come and I realize the video. I watch it back for replay. No, bro, I'm serious, bro. Shaqiri, it's time to go, bro. I do keep the loan, bro. I'm sell all of them, bro. Not good enough, bro. Adrian, Liverpool, man. We live up. I give this man contract for the what? Why we give Chink Adrian and nobody never buy it? Boy, may I tell you FSG, bro.
So right, let me ask you something then, right? You said about Mane. Do you not think Mane's work up until, you'd argue maybe around November, December, do you not think that sort of gives him the sort of, not necessarily the get out of free jail card, but do you not think that he deserves at least one more season to try and prove himself, to see whether it's decline or not?
I think he deserves what he has done. This is his poorest season. What he has done for Liverpool, listen, he deserves a chance. But me I deal it like Chelsea owner now, Bridget. Me I deal it like Chelsea owner right now. Tyke more, rebuild the team and stuff. Man, him deserve it. It's so hard for me to sit here and tell you, say, boy, I'm going to sell money. But it's just the truth, bro. Him kind of lost a little bit of pace. He can't even beat him player, bro.
I agree.
He can't even beat him player. Let's be honest.
That ain't down to pace. That's decision making.
Listen, bro, a man can't even beat him player, Gifty. I'm telling you, I'm mad. Sometimes I want to take up my phone and try to come in. Salah score goal.
Salah don't beat his man. Salah ain't lot. It's decision making, bro. I saw. Who was the team we played? Crystal Palace. He duppied there right back at, and spanning, and he ain't lost his pace, man. It's just decision making. I'm telling you. But it's all right. You know, we'll see when he comes back next season.
This is a good point from Kev O'Sullivan. If we keep him, we have to give him a new deal.
But he deserves a new deal. Why would anybody doubt Mane getting a new deal?
We're not going to do this again, Drift.
He's a legend. He's a legend. It's just a time for you have to know when to move on in life. Just like you have a little girl who just mess me up, bro. You know what I mean?
It's not time to move on yet.
I think it's a time to move on.
I'm never going to agree with any of you. Like, I watched Chelsea lifting that Champions League on Saturday, and it looked fake as fuck to me. No morals, no nothing. It's just all fake. Everything about it was just fake. No real emotion. It's all bullshit. Even the manager situation, everything about it. I don't want to be like that. I like our club having principles and that. Nah, man. If you earn the right to be here, you don't just get dashed out just because you have half of a bad season.
But this is a sport, though. It's
all right. If you see the emotion that this club is built on, yeah, I'm not just gonna act like that don't exist to be like a Man City or a Chelsea. I want us to buy the best players, of course, but there's also a foundation that you don't jeopardize in doing that. And for me,
selling
imagine
Mane,
getting rid of one of our best performers because he had half a bad season. Nah, man, I'm sorry, man. I'll
No,
never.
you're not selling him because he's got half a bad season, Drift. You're selling him because you don't know if he's on the decline, and if you keep him, you've got to give him a new contract. Because if he has another bad season,
does he not deserve
Drift,
a new
let me
contract?
finish. Drift, let me finish. If he has another bad season, he's going into the last year of his contract. Instead of maybe getting 70, 80 million for him, you're only going to get 20, 30 maybe. So that comes back to bite us in the bum.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, I'm not moving like FSG. I'm not having that. We've got to sell.
You might not want to move. I don't want to move like FSG.
No, but I will never ever agree with that ever.
Callum, you know what gonna mess up us in the long run is a club loyalty. Sometimes, and this when you look at Fergus, he know when to move on from when to keep. And club loyalty to player. You hear me telling say club for sell, man. He will not do it. Club is not that type of person. He willing to give.
This up. Sorry, Cam Scar. Me and Ram didn't blame Alisson for the 7-2 Villa game. We blamed him for the goal he let in against Ollie Watkins in the home game.
And here's the thing as well, yeah, with the whole like loyalty thing. Like we're talking about Ferguson, yeah, with the loyalty thing. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that we should just drag out players being there out of loyalty to the point where it's so obvious they can't offer nothing to the team. Yeah. But Fergie also only really had one competitor back then, and he had the financial power to do what he wanted. We can't compare Fergie being able to do that to what's going on now when we're up against all these powerhouses like Chelsea and City. So if you've got a man in your team who's proved he can do it, it ain't always a good idea to hope you can get a man who might do better. Because if you get that decision wrong, we're fucked. It ain't like Fergie where you could get rid of a man and man, you will still dominate if that one transfer don't work or that one guy don't work. We saw man, you get Verons and players like that never work, but they were so superior, it didn't matter.
But here's the thing, Drift. I agree with what you're saying, but it's also a risk keeping Mane for another year. So whether we keep him or we sell him, there's a risk either way.
I genuinely cannot believe half a bad season people are saying Mane is a risk. I am gobsmacked. You lot are baffling the fuck out of me.
Why
sorry.
Is it so
I am
baffling?
gobsmacked. No, I am gobsmacked. The whole of this, the last couple months have confused the fuck out of me. That man's just had a couple months where he's been out of form, and all of a sudden he's a risk. He don't deserve a contract. I'm baffled. I'm so baffled. I'm not talking about Mane no more. I'm confused as hell.
Drift,
You man have hit me. You lot have hit me with a left, right uppercut, and when I'm down, you know there's no knee straps on the ground, and you man have come flying in and kneed me on the floor, bro.
Drift, I'm just being honest about the situation. I don't want Mane to be sold, but I've got to be honest about the situation. I've got to look at it as a non-Mane fan. I've got to look at it as an overall thing for Liverpool Football Club. You have to look at the situation. If Mane had 3-4 years left on his contract, we're not even having this conversation, in my opinion. But he doesn't.
Hello, uncles.
Hey, Kyrie.
Little man, you all right?
Yeah, all right. So I'm going to go now. Say bye, everybody.
Bye.
Before you go, Kyrie, hold on. Before you go, would you sell Mane?
All right. Say bye, everyone.
Bye, Mane.
That's protecting his little ones.
What we say? Mo Salah, Mo Salah, Mo Salah, running down the way. Salah. Egyptian kid. Right. Say peace out. We're out.
Oh, no.
Say peace out. We're gone.
Peace out and gone.
We're gone, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, you might in a bit. 1 second.
Cool. All right, yeah, Drift. Let's not do this whole. Mane
I'm
thing.
done talking to all you lot about Mane. Let's move the fuck on immediately.
Cool. So, Ryan, how would you rate our attackers over the course of the season if you had to give it a number? The overall attack, not just individuals.
I would say I would give them a 7. 7.
As a
collective.
See, that's difficult because Salah really held up his end of the bargain, and does it average it out? Jota, even though he didn't play that well when he came back, he still got that important goal against Man United. And before the injury, he was really performing well. before the middle patch of poor form, I still think Mane was pretty good at the end of the season. I think he played really well until everybody started to play crap. Firmino, I think he started to play quite well towards the end, but it's you know what, it's difficult. It's difficult because I think Salah really held up the average. But I think if I give that average based on Salah, then I'm probably being a bit too generous to the rest of them. So it's kind of a difficult one. But as a whole, I'll probably say maybe 7.5. If you're going to average out the whole front line, probably about 7.5.
Fair enough. For me, it was about a 7. I think there was times where they looked really good, other times where they were extremely inconsistent. And that run of home games where I think we only scored 1-0 in a stupid amount of games like that.
In
that was
2021.
That was not. I'm not just saying that the quote unquote the front three. That was on the whole attack that period. So it'll be interesting to see what happens this season. But Rai, gotta say a massive thank you. You want to say something before you go?
Yeah, I want to say something. Salah, it frustrates me a lot, Bridget. You see, this kind of really overshadow. We used to cover up some of the mess Salah do this season. You see, the goal him score. Sometimes him don't do nothing in the game, and him just score, and then people give him an 8 or a 9. Just the goal.
I've said that the whole time, bro.
Yeah.
But I'm a Salah hater because I say it, bro. You know what I mean?
But sometimes I feel like, isn't that a sign of a great player that doesn't have a great game, but is still able to score? So I think you have to look at it like that sometimes. Not all the time.
No, you do.
Because sometimes you got to be like, raw, my man isn't really in the game and he just bagged a goal and you're like, raw, like, he didn't even play well today, but he still scored. But on the other side, I get it. So I fully understand.
Yeah, but that's why I always say you just have to keep the energy, though. That's the only thing I'm saying.
Can I ask you guys a question, though? Let's switch it around quickly. Let's say Alisson had very little to do in the game, and then he pulls off a worldie, and we win the game 1-0.
Yeah.
Wouldn't most of us give him a high rating because of that? And wouldn't we justify it and
totally
say...
different.
I would.
Totally
all right, but Drift, I'm going to ask you, why is it different? Because Salah's let me finish. Salah's effectively our striker, yeah? Whether he plays, whether he wears a number 9 or not, Salah is our main goal scorer, our main goal getter. So he's effectively our striker. So if Salah has a quote unquote a game where he doesn't do much but scores a worldie and win the game 1-0, should we not bump it up a little bit? And again, I'm not just saying I agree with that, because there are games where I've watched Salah and I'm like, that's been bad, but he scored a goal. But should we not keep the energy the same there then as well?
Totally different. If he don't have nothing to do in the game and then pulls off a worldie, it was the only thing he was asked to do. So you can only judge him on that moment. If we dominated the game, that's not Alisson's fault. But if we've got all the ball, all the possession, and Salah has 4 misplaced passes, he's not playing well, his passing is off, he's missed a couple sitters, but he scores the winning goal, he still did a lot more worse than he did good. You have to actually apply like more than just, do you get what I'm saying? You can't literally just look at that one. And that's why I agree with Ryan. And I love Salah. Anybody who thinks I don't love Salah is out of their mind. But I always want the same energy kept. And that's all I ever say. I just want the same energy kept. I see Salah not beating his wing back, but everyone's berating Mane. I see Salah missing hella chances, but if he scores one, people will, as Ryan said, overrate him. Keep the same energy for Firmino or Mane then. That's all I'm saying, because when Mane set up Salah for the equalising goal against West Brom, Mane set up... No, hold on, let me finish. Mane set up Phillips for our second goal, which effectively went on to kill off Burnley. Mane was the one who scored the 2 goals in the final game of the season. No one gave him any credit, though. But if Salah would have done
do that, Drew. People did give him credit. People did give him credit.
Against Burnley and West Brom, nobody gave Mane any credit.
Come on, of course they did.
I sat in the review. Don't act like I wasn't here.
Bro, plain black and white. You know what it is?
Nobody rated Mane.
Listen, no, Johnny is. Let's not get emotional, because right now it's just plain and simple.
This isn't emotional. I'm just talking facts.
But bro, I hear what you're saying. All I'm saying is, plain and simple, in my opinion, Salah had a better season than Mane. I'm not going to sit here and say there weren't times when even I... No, but let me finish. I'll let you finish. Yeah? There were certain times when Salah had bad games, and I was probably rating him a bit higher because he scored the goal. I can admit that. So I can admit that. Yeah, I was going to say. But there also are times, though, when I still back my point, though, when I say like, raw, sometimes like when a player's not playing well and they can still score a winning goal, you have to give them credit because they're gonna have bad games, but they still pull out a goal. Bro, what the goals get? Goals get points. What the goals get? Goals also. Do you get what I'm saying?
No one didn't give him ratings though, bro, because he'd always end up with the higher rating out of all the front players. So he did get the credit for it. But when you're doing when you're analysing at the end of the season like we are now, you can't act like he didn't have those bad performances.
No, we're not saying that. No,
because
I'm not
now
saying.
we're not looking at individual games. We're looking at the overall performance. So if man are going to start chipping away at Trent and chipping away at certain man for things they did, let's get deep then and talk about the other players. Salah had hella poor performances, and just because he got the goal doesn't mean you can't forget about the poor performances.
I wouldn't say hella poor. He had poor performances. Don't get twisted because no one was not.
I would probably say I watched about 15 games this season when Salah was below his
bro,
usual
Salah scored. Listen,
games.
and again, you know what it is? Sometimes this is so mad, yeah.
But if he scores,
are we talking about all competitions or the league? 15 games.
I'm talking about overall for this season. I watched Salah for about 15 games, played well below his level. But if he scored a goal, he just gets swept under the carpet that he had a bad game. 15, just a fact.
So hold on, let me ask you lot this year. This is to you.
So how many bad games did Mane have?
I was gonna say, so if he's Salah 15, Mane must have had about 30 then.
I'd probably say Mane had about maybe 20, 25 games overall that were poor games.
Now Mane must have 30.
Way below his
double the amount of Salah then. All right, we're going to go by that logic.
But this is what I'm saying again. I'm trying. Ryan mentioned Salah, so I'm just saying, no, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Let's not start doing comparing every single one.
No, you brought Mane.
But you brought Mane. You brought Mane.
Only because you lot said if he scores, give him ratings. So I said, no one rated Mane.
I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to ask you a question.
Keep the energy then.
I'm going to ask you a question, Drift, because you don't think Mane had a bad season, yeah?
No, I think he had a bad season.
But you've said he hasn't.
He wasn't anywhere near as bad as you lot say he was. There's a difference.
All right. So how many games have we played in total this season? Probably about 50 top. 50. All right, cool.
Grizz, I'm sorry by the way. Grizz, if you can hear me,
about
I'm sorry,
50 games. Mane didn't play all of those games either.
Grizz is gonna cuss me.
So if you're saying Mane had about 25 bad games out of 50 and he didn't play all 50, can you not see why there's a frustration with Mane right now?
Of course, I understand why there's a frustration. What's the argument then? But get rid of him, sell him.
I'm going to bring him Grizz. I'm bringing him up.
He don't deserve a new contract. All that shit is outrageous.
How is it outrageous to say he doesn't deserve a new contract, Drift, when he hasn't
earned one this season? Go back into that anyway.
Chris, I'm sorry, bro.
You can't blanket the whole fan base for what the opinions of a few people saying he's rubbish are either. He's the same energy across the board.
It's not.
It is a few people in the context of the whole fan base. If you can't say it's the whole fan base, you do that all the time. It's not the whole fan base.
Listen, if more people are saying bad,
you know how many people I see online say, "Oh, Salah's dead," but that doesn't represent the whole fan base. That's
we need to apply that logic to everything then, because there's enough people think FSG are great owners, so we got to apply that to everything then.
Yes, that's right, Drift.
Well, then that means FSG aren't bad owners, then, right?
No, that doesn't mean that. It just means
Chris,
people have a
Sorry, Drift. Drift, let me just say this here. What's the main argument that you just want to say before we move on? What's the main thing you want to say?
Argument. Ryan made a statement that enough poor performances from Salah covered up by his goal. And I said, I agree with that because I see a lot of times when he don't play well, but he scores and everyone boosts up the thing. And I'm like, but he did kind of play shit. I know he scored the goal, but he weren't good today. And I'm just backing up Ryan on that point. And then when you lot start saying, no, but goals mean you should get extra rating, I'm saying, well, when Firmino or Mane get a goal,
I didn't. I didn't say that.
No one said goals should be extra rating. I said me personally.
You specifically said if that's his job, then why don't we give him extra rating for scoring it? Because
I said, bro, all right, let me, do you know, because he's going to get mad. All I said is this.
You don't forget what you say a lot.
No.
You just hear what you want to hear.
What I said.
Nah, you forget what you say.
I said, me personally, I've been there where I've got, maybe I potentially could have given Salah better ratings, from when he scored, but he's had bad games. But I'm also not going to take away from the point, though, when you are a goal scorer, if you do have a bad game, bro, and you score a goal, we got to give man credit. That's exactly what I said, bro. You can go back and watch the tapes. We can record it. You can go back and watch it. You film it how many times you want. That's exactly what I said, bro. Do you know what I mean? And I'll leave it there because all I'm going to say is this, however you want to dress it up, in my opinion anyway, Salah's had a better season than Mane. Mane by his and all we're trying to say is this, yeah. Mane has been poor. Salah hasn't been amazing, but has still had a good season. No one's saying Salah's done his first season. No one's even saying Salah's done his second season. But all we're trying to say is this: you have to give man credit for a Liverpool team that's been very inconsistent. He still chipped away, even when he's had bad games. He scored goals. Mane, it seems like if he doesn't have a good game, needs to score. Because when Mane doesn't perform well, you don't get a lot out of Mane. Whereas at least, so to speak, with Salah can have a bad game and still score. That's all people are trying to say, bro. No one's saying Salah's better than Mane. They're saying this particular season, bro. That's all they're saying.
By the way, he had a bad season by his own standards.
Bro, I don't know what to say, bro. I don't know.
No, that's just my opinion.
21
goals and assists this season. I'm sorry, that's bad by his standards.
Do you know? Let's not do a Man United where we start adding up like goals and assists and start making it out bigger than what it is.
Well, we're not gonna do that, are we? Because I just heard goals and assists are what matter.
So Drift, did Kevin? Who had a better season out? Who had a better season out of Bruno Fernandes and Kevin De Bruyne?
Oh Lord.
That's actually a good argument.
No, it's not. Who had a better season? Who was the better player this season?
Good argument.
Bruno had a good argument. We know the answer to that. We know the answer to that. Who's better?
De Bruyne is a better player. I don't know who I said had the better season.
Matt, who had a better season, De Bruyne or Fernandes?
Bruv, I can't be bothered.
Because we all know who it is. We all know it is. But you're not answering the question because you know that voids what you just said about the whole goals and assists thing. Because Bruno outranked Kevin De Bruyne on goals and assists, but you cannot sit here and tell me that De Bruyne weren't a better player this season when he was.
To be honest with you, I think it's a good argument.
Drift, do you know I know you're chatting nonsense because you don't told me about how when it comes to big games, where was my man? So let's not even go there.
No, because I'm actually trying to remember.
Let me get my charger.
De Bruyne actually had. That's it. I'm actually trying to remember how many great games De Bruyne actually had. But anyway,
it's obvious. De Bruyne was better this season. Simple, but Bruno's stats were better. Doesn't mean he was better.
What point is that anyway? Because I said Salah had a better season.
No, you were saying about the whole. You're not even.
But when I do that, you lot don't like it because you keep making points about that.
Your comment was Mane only had a bad season. Do you even remember your comment? Do you even remember your comment? Do you even remember your comment?
Yeah, I said he had a bad season by his standard.
And then you started talking about Rashford
because he's got 21 goals and assists, and that's better than enough other man's top performance.
Doesn't mean
so
he had a
bad season by his standard.
He had a bad season, full stop.
All right, okay, fine.
Let's move. Come and move, man. Come on.
Ryan,
let's move.
Gotta say a thank you as always for coming on, bro.
Big up, bro.
Sorry for come stir up the pot, Reggie.
The pot was always going to get stirred.
This is always going to get stirred, bro. When it's Mane, it's always going to get stirred, bro. It's always going to get.
I don't really like talk about Mane, Salah situation. Okay, so I talk about it, I get too much abuse from my channel. Racist abuse. I don't really like to. Stay away from it.
It's a word.
That Salah thing is very sensitive. But may I tell you guys, be honest, you see this season, Mane, it frustrates me. Salah frustrate me, but he just always come with a goal and he just go under the choir. But make Mane don't score. You hear it loud. It's just
fact.
What it is, man. But thank you guys for having me, man. Appreciate it.
Appreciate that, bro. Appreciate that, man.
Nice fun, right, as always, bro.
Big up, bro.
Bless up, man.
All right.
Grizz, I'm sorry, bro. Grizz gonna cuss me. I'm waiting for that voice. I'm waiting for that voice note after.
Nah, it's not a problem. It's not. You're gonna get a voice note, but it's not a problem.
Yeah. I know.
It's not a problem.
I know.
But it's not a problem. It's not a problem. You're gonna get a voice note, but it's not a problem.
We're not gonna keep you too long, Grizz. We know you're busy.
Wait.
Lay him off the floor, man.
No. I just listened to the last 20 minutes and it was pure fire, man. It was like I'm like Kofi Annan in here, bro. Like call me Kofi, bro. I'm just, you know what I mean? I ain't United Nations, man. I'm looking to unite you lot, man. I thought I'm gonna chat to Drifty about the little Twitter exchange we had about Mane. And then I thought, nah, Drifty's angry today, bro. Not today. You know, you see that meme when the thing walks in,
when the
and
baby,
and then just walks out. But I didn't know how to. I was stuck in this lobby. I thought, nah, I might as well wait now, man. As soon as you Drifty rage, I was gonna exit. exit studio.
I don't think it's a good idea. We talk about
Nah, definitely not.
Even though you did speak about Mane on the trippers last night.
Look, we ain't got listen.
Yeah, we're not going back into Mane, bro.
It deserves more time. I literally
it does.
It deserves more time, like a proper in-depth look at it, like you know, pros and cons. I'm sure you guys have anyway, probably like on your own shows, like as you guys were referring to, like we've gone through this. So, but today's not the day, man. Today's not the day.
Well, Grizz, we've brought you on because obviously we've spoken about the players now, we've spoken about the team. Now I want to speak about the coaches and the owners and how you'd rank them this season. Now, in terms of the coaches, Klopp has had a season to forget in so many regards. However, it could be a season that goes down as in history for him as one of his sort of crowning achievements, because you look at when he was at Mainz, his last season there, when he was at Dortmund, his last season there, people always thought, you know, he gets to a certain point, he runs players into the ground and then kind of leaves. Can he actually stay and rebuild a team or galvanize a team to go again, as it were, when they have a bad season? Then you look at some of the coaching staff. I know I've done it on here. I've questioned Pep Linders this season. The medical staff, Chris Morgan, has come under a lot of flack this season, and I think rightly so. And then obviously FSG. How would you rank our coaching and owners this season, Grizz?
So shall we start from the top, or shall we start from like the bottom and the coaching trend? It's up to you. We can start from.
I say start from the owners and then we feel.
Yeah, well, the owners. You know, I mean, I don't even know if they. How do you rank it? You rank it on the basis of. So you rank it on the basis of not the summer, just from the start of the season and the winter and thing, So look, their only input was Super League and the January transfer window, and they fucked up both.
As well.
Yeah. So if there's it's true though, innit? So they get a minus. I don't know if you don't do minuses because every time they dipped in with any input, like it was turfed in it straight away. So I don't know why they had any input. Like they should have just stayed quiet like they usually do and let the people that know make decisions. But so the Super League was a whole heap of nonsense. Obviously John Henry done his apology. So I guess from -5 it goes back to 0. And then in December they totally flopped him for reasons that we may go on to, because now they got a whole heap of stuff to do in the summer, but still for January, they get another 0. So 2 zeros equals 0. So that's the owners out of the way to get a 0.
You know what? Me personally, I think we've got to include last summer if we're going to be genuine and not be disrespectful, regardless of whether you're FSG in or out. Yeah, we do have to count the summer as part of the season because it set us up for the season.
I was thinking that maybe,
You know what I mean? We do. And I think they did a pretty good job in the summer, to be honest. Like, we can't always just bash them all the time. They got us Jota, Tsimikas and Thiago. That was a good summer. That was a good summer.
But I'm going to give you your props and say they could even be asked, they could even be criticized for the summer, because I remember one show I done for you lot in the middle of the window or something around that time. And the discussion was around replacing Lovren.
Yes.
So I'm an honest man. I don't, you know what I mean? When, you know, you have to hold your hands up sometimes. And I said, we'll assess it. You should always assess the situation at the end of the season before making a judgment call on the owners. And looking back, them giving Klopp the choice of having Thiago or a centre-back, as opposed to you can have Thiago as a little present, but we still need to buy you a centre-back, came back to haunt them. Saying that centre-back 100% would have been injured anyway. So it would have been void. Like 100% he would have been injured. But the fact that the matter is, because you at the time were saying, nah, it's a risk. It's a risk of a risk. And, you know, so it proved. But it was mental, innit? Like, that can't happen again, can it? Like, 5 centre-backs out.
Bro, if it happens again, I'm done with football.
No, it's done. It's done. It can't.
We can't do that again.
It is possible, but then that's like someone's cursed us proper. Like, you can't even get away from that, man. So yeah, I think it was a very good window, like, you know, the summer. So I'd probably give them a 7. If they bought that centre half, it would have been
Yeah,
9.
then we would have been in better.
Yeah, exactly. Because
100.
I remember we were still hyped. Like
Yeah,
with the
yeah,
Jota and
we
the
were.
Thiago. We were hyped. So
100.
But then the season, the coaches, look, it's difficult to give a Jurgen Klopp a rating because what he's gone through, I personally haven't gone through. Like my mother's still alive. So I don't even know what the man went through. You know, you can't even imagine what he went through. Oh shit, man! You lot been waiting. I've been waiting there 4 hours. My battery's dying. All your fault. It's gonna be 1 second.
Nah,
One second. I'm just gonna charge it. 1 second. 1 second.
No, it's calm. It's calm.
No, just off the back of what Grizz said, I think we even did a rating of this in the summer of how we rated the transfer window, and we did say that. We said it was about a 7, but if we had got that centre back, it'd have probably been a 9 or a 10.
It could have been perfect with that centre back.
But it could have been.
Dare I say it? And again, hindsight is the best thing in the world, but striker as well. I mean, we kind of just said to ourselves, you know, we'll do a striker next summer. Should we have gone hard for a striker last summer as well? And I'm not just saying it's based off the season we've had, because again, off the back of the 1920 season, Firmino was showing he's not a goal scoring false 9. He's a false 9 that will create space with his movement and may get you an assist or two. He was never that goal getter apart from the 17-18 season. Did we kind of drop the ball and sort of not even address it, the fact that we weren't getting a striker?
You know, Cal, the only reason why I say we didn't drop the ball in getting a striker as well is because sometimes you can't always get every single position all at once because you are doing too much. There is such a thing as you're doing too much. You're asking too many new players to settle in the team all at the same time. I think the centre-back would have been enough to not be a bad summer. You're right, we've needed a striker for about 12 months, 18 months, you're right. But I think if we'd have done the midfielder, the winger, the left-back and the centre-back, would have been all right. It wouldn't have been time to complain if we'd have done that. Perfect world, yeah, a striker. But that is asking a lot of players all to adapt all at the same time. Do you know what I mean? So,
yeah,
it you know what I mean? And at the beginning of the season, we also have to agree that we probably thought that Origi would get a lot more game time this season. Like, it's really strange how little he got in comparison with the other seasons. And we probably thought, I know I did as well after the way he ended last season, that Keita was going to be a lot more available. I don't call me naive, but the way he ended the season, I really thought he was going to be a big player for us this year. So there's a few positions that we, in hindsight, it's easy to look back on and go, yeah, but you know what I mean? A centre-back would have been enough. A centre-back
I don't think it's naive. I mean, after the games Keita had towards the back end of the season, obviously Matt was already on board, but me and Udrift, we came on there and we openly said, look, we're on this Keita boat now. Like,
yeah, he performed exceptionally well in those last 10 games. He really did.
Bro, he did.
But at the same time,
he started the game against Leeds, you know?
He
like,
did,
people
but again,
are sleeping on that.
He didn't have a very good game in that game, in my opinion.
Yeah, he didn't. Not the best of games, he didn't, you're right.
And then here's the thing as well. We speak about Keita being unavailable. He's actually been available for quite a while towards the end of this season. But
not
he just wasn't being played.
Which so says again, to me,
is there something in that?
I feel so. Yeah. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm Katie's agent, even though a lot of people think I am. I think there is something in it. I think if we get a good offer, I think he potentially is gone. I think Jurgen Klopp is smart enough to never again throw players under the bus. He would never ever do that. I think Jurgen Klopp believes in you.
Ever again? Who did he ever throw under the bus?
No, I'm just saying he never. No, I'm just saying he never throws players under the bus, bro. He never, he never does that.
Never again. I thought, oh shit, who did he throw under the bus?
No. I think the only player threw under the bus was, dare I say it, Mamadou Sakho, innit? When he was just like, when he say it, he was like, yeah, Mama was going mad. I remember when they said to Klopp, when they were filming something, Mum was next to him, and then someone said something. But yeah, Mama said something mad, and then I think Klopp must retaliate with like, you know when Klopp does that,
he said they were out, they were visiting a prison. I don't
Yeah, it was a prison, but he said something about the lateness.
But he was like, I would leave. I should leave Sakho in here or something. I was like,
yeah. When he said it, it was like
Sakho was stupid. Do you know what that was like? That was like going to work and being late. and then standing on the shop floor instead of quickly ducking in about taking your coat off and then trying to just act like you ain't late.
Nah,
Xhaka was late, and then he's clowning and taking the camera off the manager and being an idiot.
Yeah,
bro, you could be as undercover today as possible, bro. Like, what are you doing, bro?
Saka was late for work, yeah. Then tried to jam with the manager and be like, yo, bro, can I get early lunch? Yeah, I'll buy you lunch, though. I'll buy you lunch. I was late. I'm gonna buy you lunch. Saka was pushing it out too much.
He was.
For people asking about Alvin Togrizi, he just messaged me now and said, apologies, his battery is dead. You're trying to recharge, but he might not make it back in time. But don't trust me, people. Grizz will be back.
On the go, yeah.
Yeah, we'll get him back on
today.
It's my bad as well.
So obviously Jurgen's gone through the stuff with his mum.
Yeah.
FSG haven't helped Jurgen in the slightest this season with the lack of support in January, and then the whole Super League thing and him having to answer questions about that he shouldn't even have been put in the firing line for. But you know what I'm going to say, guys?
Yeah.
Football-wise, we have to judge Klopp.
He made some mad decisions.
He did.
Come on. All right.
Stubbornness is a gift and a curse, and we've seen that this season.
Yeah.
It almost cost us the Champions League. It almost cost us Europe at one point. But that same stubbornness kind of got us back into it as well.
Yeah.
You could almost say it cost us the title a little bit.
See, the only reason I wouldn't say that, Drift, is because even if Klopp was getting his selection right, without Virgil, Matip, Gomez, I don't think we're winning the title of City this season.
No, I do hear that, and obviously, but
them Anfield games, I said it.
It's always with hindsight, so I get that's a really silly way to really judge it. But when I realised that we are exactly 1 point more behind City of all the losses at Anfield, you think, so if that was a draw with City and you win the other 5, which we should have, we win the league. And I know that's a really mad hindsight way to look at it, but that's mad, isn't it?
But what I will say is, remember, City towards the end of the season, after they'd wrapped up the league, started playing just
they did
mad games.
No, and again, that's true. No, but you know what? Because they were in all those finals, pressure could have got to them, and it could have been worse. Maybe if we were right there on their neck. You know what I mean?
No, I hear that.
Listen, Jurgen Klopp made a couple of mistakes. Played Jota in a game he didn't need to be played. He played midfielders at centre back where he potentially shouldn't have played them. That fit should have came in earlier. Right? Remember, he went with the whole Henderson and Fabinho at centre back. Could have possibly played Nat Phillips back then and freed up one of the midfielders. Should have done that. There were times when I genuinely felt like he kept faith in Firmino as well as Mane didn't drop them when Jota was fit. There was a time when I also felt like, going back to what I just said as well, where he kind of shoehorned Firmino when Firmino's at kind of like at his lowest floor, so to speak. And probably should have went with Jota, but he threw in Firmino. We played all 4 of them against Man City, where I kind of felt like that was a mistake. So I think Jurgen Klopp has made some mistakes, but I'm not going to forget that Jurgen Klopp also lost his mother. I'm not going to forget that Jurgen Klopp wears his heart on his sleeve. I'm not going to forget that Jurgen Klopp also represents Liverpool, and it's one of the hardest things to do. But some of the decisions that he has made has been very questionable, but I'm still going to give him his props because he still got us into the top 3. And let's be real, 4 or 5 weeks ago, we were out. Like, we had no right to be in that conversation. We sat here and said, Raj, you know what? All these other teams that keep making mistakes, like Chelsea and whatever, they're making, and then we're not taking advantage. Like, we're not capitalizing on the mistakes that these teams are making. Jurgen Klopp said, listen, I'm going to stick to my strongest 11, Nat Phillips, Reece Williams, whoever it will be, your guy's centre back, but I need Flacco at CDM. And he realised his mistakes because he said, no more is Flacco going at centre back. He said, I'm playing Flacco at CDM and I'm going to cut off the source of people's attacks. And it worked. So you have to give him his props at the end of the day.
So go on then. Grizz gave the owners a minus. I'm going to give them.
No, I think he ended up with a 0. I think he said.
I mean, he did 0 in the end. Yeah.
I'm going to give the owners a 1 based on a 7 out of 10 summer last summer. Okay. Everything else was just appalling.
I'm going to give them a 2 based on a 7 out of 10 somewhere.
I'm giving the owners a 1, only because I felt they really fluffed it, and I know this is really bad, but they fluffed it even prior that when they decided to buy Harvey Elliott and Seth Vandenberg and Adrian when we, you know what I mean?
No, but you can't. It's not fair if you're gonna do that for this.
No, it's just that. No, what it is that I'm going off the rails here. That somewhat irked me because we deserve more than that.
No, I know. But now
I'm just saying, and then
now we're talking about this season.
I know. I just had to throw that in there, bro. We won the Champions League, yeah. That man said on air, like how we are now. Quote me if I'm wrong. Jurgen will give Jurgen what he wants. You're telling me Jurgen only asked for Seth Vandenberg and Harvey Elliott and Adrian. I'll leave it there still. But anyway, no, Jeff, going by your point, you're right. I'll still give them a 1 anyway.
Cool. And then Klopp.
Jurgen, do you want to know something? I love this brother, you know. He's our manager. There's no other manager I want at Liverpool Football Club. I don't care when people are calling for his head when we lost 6 games in a row. There were people saying, get rid of him. We're done. X, Y, and Z. The same people that said, we are done. We are fully done as a club. Klopp has lost the plot. We finished 3rd. Ain't hindsight really mad for you lot, yeah? That was saying Klopp out, yeah? What it mad? People
were done for this season, though.
People were saying Klopp needs to be assessed and all this stuff. I just said, voila.
The Klopp out stuff was ludicrous.
But I just said, listen.
But at the same time, during that bad patch, Klopp's form would have got him sacked at other clubs.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, no, Jeff. Do you know what? You're right, maybe. But we're not like other clubs. And do you want to know something?
No, of course.
Yeah. When you stick with your manager and you have faith, because here's the thing, Jeff. We said that at the time, but we didn't really believe it. It's more like just like on the surface level of like, do you know what, bro? We're like 6 losses in a row. Like we must have like deep. When you're thinking, you might as well go in it. But when you deeped it, you looked at the situation. I kept saying confidence. All the players that are injured, like everything that's going against us, probably it was mad. So,
you know what? No, during that time, I'm not gonna lie. I think injuries couldn't even beat it. Like, I'm not gonna act like it didn't happen.
I remember you was the one. You out of all of us was like,
we still had the best 11 in every one of those games that we lost. Klopp fucked up a lot during that.
No, probably did. But do you want to know what?
Like he didn't. I can't. We're gonna start grilling Alisson about dropping the ball.
Yeah.
Klopp dropped the ball during that.
No, probably did. But you also got to give man his props.
Brighton, Fulham, bro. There's no way these teams should have come Anfield and won, bro.
Brother, 100%.
No way.
But let's be real, though.
Took 5 points off us this season.
Brother, 100%.
No, 4. We drew twice with them, innit? Fulham took 5 points off us. They beat us and we drew with them.
Bro, let me be real. I want to bring this up, yeah? His mum died, bro. His mum, listen.
No, of course.
His mum died, and we're asking him to be the face of one of the biggest clubs in the world and still make the right decisions. And no, what you're saying, Drift, is right, though. I actually agree with you. But what I'm trying to say is this: as human beings, it's so mad, isn't it, that like we just kind of just think, well, even though I know what you're going through, Jurgen, you're still the manager. You got to make these right decisions. And let's be real, people. I think we can all just say maybe at that time he didn't make the right decisions.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? These things happen. He's a human being. But
by the way,
he still negated us.
I always see a lot of people confused when I say a team took 4 or 5 points off you. I'm struggling to understand why you don't understand. You get 6 points off each team in a year if you beat them twice, yeah? Because you play for 3 points. So if you draw 2 games, you dropped 4 points. So the team took 4 points from you. Yeah, and if you draw with them and they beat you, they took 5 points off you. No, but people seem to be confused when I say that. It's
because people usually say it the other way around. But
that's what it is. What you're saying is right, though. Yeah, I understand.
I always just get confused how people don't work out that quick maths. Like it's weird. That's why they call it a 6-pointer when two teams play each other.
The reason they'll say it is because effectively, say for example, a team. Let's say Chelsea beat Liverpool and drew with Liverpool. Effectively, they've taken 4 points on the board from you, as opposed to 5. So they'll have gained 4 points. But that's how people see it. What you're saying is right.
Yeah, what you're saying is right. It's just how the people say it, bro. You're still right.
They're 2 different ways to look at it.
Yeah, it's just how you look at it from which team. But no, you're right. Listen, I'll say it again. I agree with everything you said, Drew, because he made some mad decisions. But again, Jurgen Klopp lost his mum, made some decisions where you're like, bro, what's going on? but we have to respect it. We hold it up, and yes, he made mistakes. That's why he didn't have a perfect season, because he made mistakes regardless of the injuries. You're right. Tactical decisions, Jota, play centre mids at centre back. You're like, bro, like, we respect you, but what's going on here? And not even that. When Firmino was having a really bad run, you still want to shoehorn man and say he's amazing for the team, which is true. I'm not going to deny it wasn't. But sometimes you just got to pick the players that are on form. And at that point, Jota was firing. Jota was firing more than Salah and Mane. And he was still trying to shoehorn Firmino. And it's like, bro, what's going on, bro? But I love Jurgen, man. Jurgen.
No, but the love will never die. But we
Jurgen's
just have
the
to
guy, bro.
keep it right, because we have
100%.
That away game at Real Madrid was the biggest game of the season. Yeah.
I know
Not even just in hindsight, even at that point, it was the biggest game of the season, especially how bad we were playing in the league. Klopp really dropped the ball in that Real Madrid game, guys. He played Naby Keita over Thiago, and you do have to blame the manager to a large degree when the team is completely unmotivated and unready, which is what it seemed like for that game.
I don't think
we went out in that game and didn't even look like we knew we were in a Champions League.
You know what?
I think there's a difference between being unmotivated and playing poorly, though, Drift. I don't think we can say they're not motivated. I don't think a team ever walks out with Klopp and they're not motivated. I don't think he would have been allowed.
I was saying that is the wrong move.
We was not on it, bro.
Yeah, but I don't think that's Klopp's fault as such.
I think Klopp, Bob, let's be real. Klopp is probably the biggest motivator.
When he picked that starting 11, none of us came on here and were like, what is he doing there? That's a dead. We were
the dropping Thiago thing we did, bro.
We said we were surprised.
Even I said it. I was like, dropping Thiago. Remember, I sent you man a voice note. I might have to go and repeat it. Remember, I was like, hold on, like, cater over Thiago. I was like, bro. I said this is what Thiago was bought for.
No, you're right. We were surprised, but none of us said that he was stupid for making
not stupid.
We understood the logic. We understood the logic, even if we didn't agree with the selection. But the actual way the team played, I don't think Klopp, like, the team just didn't show up. I don't think that's Klopp's fault.
But it has to be to a degree, bro, because if everyone's grilling Man United right now for how poor Oli
what can he do, Drift?
Like, and everyone's jumping on, laughing at Oli, he's a crap manager.
But they don't respect Oli like how they respect Klopp.
Let me give you an example. If Man United went to Real Madrid away and did exactly what we did, everybody would say that was Oli's fault. We have to be honest.
No, that is true. But why would they say that, though, Drift? Because he's got a catalogue of doing stuff like that.
Oh, no, that's a fact. But you can be the best and still fuck up, though.
No, very true.
No, that's true. That's true.
Very true.
And I think Klopp is still to blame for the motivation of the players, or no, maybe not even motivation, Cam. Maybe you're right. Whatever it is that we just weren't on it. Whatever it was that we weren't on it, the manager does have to take responsibility for that, innit?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I know we tried to rectify it with in-game management because Naby came off after 35 minutes, which Klopp never does unless you're injured. So he tried to rectify it, but it was a little too late because the momentum of the game was just against us at that point. Do you know what I mean? And obviously there was like Trent made a mistake, Phillips made a mistake. Like there was things that I guess that's not Klopp's fault. It's not Klopp's fault that Trent made a dumb pass and all that. But Klopp still got, I think it's still a 40-50% blame on Klopp for why that performance was bad, though. Do you get what I mean? Like, he's still the manager, and that's quarterfinals away at Real Madrid. We've got to do better than that, regardless. So,
all right, guys, going to read out the super chats before we wrap up. So,
what you not giving
Klopp, I'll give a 7.
7.
Yeah, I'll give him a 7.
7. I have to give him a 7. I have to give him a 7. Even 7.5 because he's
still the best
manager
in the world. But
100%.
He dropped the ball.
He's had a rough year, bro. He's had a rough year, but he dropped the ball. You're right.
1975, Jamrock says, I was FSG out, but I became in after the Super League. But more than anything, I'm a stickler for details. I admired the fact they stopped being naive to think that they can compete with teams who flaunt FIFA fair play and tried. We need you on the show, 1975, Jamrock. 1975 Jamrock says, Drifty, why do you care what's going on with Reece? It makes us Liverpool fans come across like we have an inferiority complex about any comparison to LFC.
No, not at all. It actually means that it's just hilarious because they keep calling us out. So every now and again, you just got to stick your head out the window and be like, are you serious, bro? You really like stop ringing the doorbell, man. You're getting on my nerves.
Yeah, the comparisons with Reece and Trent are silly. Musa LFC 21 says Ox has had less minutes than Naby and Minamino this season. That's crazy.
Ox?
AM, yeah, that's Ox,
and had
yeah.
more of an impact. That's nuts.
AM says,
Yes.
for me, Thiago has been our best player since the international break. I agree with that.
Been balling out, bro.
Footy Sense says, Ian Rush left and came back. Is he a traitor? No, because they're two very different ways that Coutinho and Ian Rush left the club. Two very different ways.
True.
Promo said, facts on facts on facts from Ryan. Sell Mane. Aiden says, Ryan a Clartip on Rapid. It was Ryan coming and did a madness. Promo said, front three to blame for the 6 home losses, in my opinion. Not all 6, in my opinion, but the majority. Zotta says, without Mane, we won't be in the top 4. Salah don't provide anything to the team if he's not scoring. Interesting point.
Mane was integral. Mane was very integral, especially that last couple of games. He was still.
Delwyn says, apparently Liverpool are preparing their first bid for lead star Rafinha of 32 million. We move Matt. I have no idea how. I've seen a lot of it in the chat, and I've obviously not spoken about it. I have no idea.
I just couldn't help myself laughing at the way Matt looked
Okay. Yeah, Rafinha.
Bro, do you know what's funny? Yeah, at the beginning, I thought you were doing the Lion King thing there.
But the
I remember myself on stream. Oh. No,
I did.
Yeah.
I'm good.
I thought I came out the stream, though.
Right, are you that like excited, bro? Man, forgot how to work the controls and that.
Rafinha.
Yeah, screaming for this. It's like how I'd be if we were signing Neto. So I get
it. If we get Rafinha, if we get Rafinha,
you're gonna be like I was last summer with Thiago there.
No. Thiago was because Thiago was like that's different. Because Thiago's like all worldly, like that's on another level. But you see this Rafinha thing? He's not like the level where you can figure Thiago, but he's different, bruv. To what we have, he's different.
You know what Rafinha would say to me?
Shaq and them man in Origi.
Now, here's what Rafinha would say to me. It would show the intent that we're not ramping. That's what it would. I get you. Like Rafinha isn't an all-worldly player, but it would be the intent. If we go and get Rafinha and say, do you know who our like backup guys are? Jota and Rafinha. We're showing that we're about to have a squad that can compete and we're not ramping. That's what it would show. That would be what would excite me about the Rafinha signing. And he's a good player as well, don't get me wrong, but it's the intent. It would, and especially at 30 mil, because that would make me be a little bit more relaxed that no Salah news, no Mane getting sold, all that crap. Because that type of money there, you ain't got to get rid of nobody to buy it.
Listen, I'll just say this. If we buy Rafinha, in my opinion, it means FSG actually mean business because it means they're thinking about
they're saying sorry a little bit, which is what I told you we need to do. We need to squeeze them.
FSG do that, they're thinking about the squad.
Kante and Rafinha in the first week or 2 of the transfer window opening, or it's not even open yet, but the season finishing, for me, it means they're saying our bad. Like it would, because we've never moved that quickly in the transfer market, in my opinion.
Well, we'll see.
We'll
see
what happens.
Space open. Zotta says, Matt, when it counted, Mane has dragged Liverpool to top 4. When it comes to what we need in big games at moments, Mane is better than Salah.
I mean, that's what I said last couple of games before that was said. Last couple of games, Mane was impressive. I mean, that's a conversation to be had, though. And I'm not even going to dismiss it out of hand because Mane really stepped up last couple of games. He really did. Can't deny that. He did.
Gangan Deep says, when Chelsea won the Champions League in 2012, they signed Hazard and Azpilicueta. We won it in 2019, got Adrian, Sepp and Elliott. Difference is alarming.
It
is indeed. Promo, allowed taking back a cheating...
Enough man don't want Coutinho.
No to Coutinho. Right, we'll see what happens. We will see what
Coutinho,
happens.
you know what? Maybe it's not a good idea. He comes back. He's getting no love.
The hate
bro.
will be mad. But you want to know
Yeah.
something, Diff? Yeah, if
He's
he
getting
scored a couple of
no-
30-yarders and
Yeah,
that,
then
people will forget
yeah,
that
he'll
still.
be forgiven in no
Couple
time.
of
It's true.
30-yarders and see if man still got that same energy.
I'm waiting,
Yeah?
but I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm waiting for that energy when Mane starts packing in next season. I'm waiting for that
Bro,
energy.
I will say it one more time. For
I'm not
people
talking about
listening.
you, bro.
No,
Don't take it
not for you. Not for you. I just remember because I said this a couple of weeks ago. Mane next season. Remember when I said it? In fact, I said it to you, man, on the phone. Mane's coming back with a vengeance. I'm saying 25 minimum. Bookmark that. Yeah,
25 goals, yeah.
20 in all comps minimum. Mane's going in next season. What, with rest? What, Mane with rest? What, you think you're going to be tired?
The only reason I say that's a high number is because remember him and Salah, African Cup of Nations, isn't it?
Bruv. Mane, dare I say, is always a faster starter than Salah as well, you know?
Do you want to know what? Yeah, this season, that's a big problem, you know. Mane and Mo both going in that January.
People can say AFCON, people can say all this stuff, yeah. You see Sadio Mane, all I've said for the whole season is
Matt, not based on his performances. Just Cal's bringing up a good point that they're gonna miss about maybe 8 games or something like that.
Bro, Mane is normally a fast starter. Trust me.
Oh no, we don't play Champions League in January, do we?
Bro, no. We're doing it.
Yeah, so I was thinking about Europe as well. Was it about 4 or 5 league games?
Bro, Mane, a fast starter. He always has a little dip in the middle of the season. But when I say to you, if Mane goes by the 18-19 season, which I think he will, I think he's going to have arguably his best season since 18-19. Yeah? Because he will get some rest. Trust me. You're not going Euros, bro. You know what I'm saying? He ain't going to be at Euros. He's going to be sleeping, going to be resting. Trust me,
Is the Copa America on this summer?
There's rumors that it might get cancelled because it can't be in Argentina.
No, apparently it's been moved to Brazil.
Oh, is it?
Oh, so it is happening?
Apparently so, yeah.
Fuck, man. So that means Firmino, Flacco, Ali, them man ain't getting.
Yeah, but Mane's resting. Mane ain't
No,
there.
but I want a lot of our players to get.
No, true.
I'm saying. I thought the only ones we had to worry about was
Hendo. This Mane 25. Yeah. Okay. Are you with me, Gift? Are you backing him? Are you backing him? Or you're not backing him?
I'm backing it. Of course, I'm backing.
Are you saying 25 as well? Then, yeah.
I think 20. I think 20.
You're the biggest.
No, but
you're backing the team.
No, because I don't think goals are the only way to constitute him having a good season.
No, but I'm not saying. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying personally, bro. Mane with rest. I'm saying personally 25. If you think 20, remember, there's no wrong or right answer. I just think Mane's going to be sensational.
I think
that's what I'm saying. I think we want. This season will be his worst season. Next season, trust me, Mane's going on a mad team.
I guarantee you this season is the worst season he ever has in a Liverpool shirt.
But I'm not going to lie, Jeff, I thought you would have backed me because you are the biggest Mane supporter.
No, I am backing. Yeah, bro,
so are you saying 25 or 20 then?
No, but the only reason I'm not saying 25 is because even when he was impeccable, he never got 25.
Jeff, man, you're not on
because he does more for the team than just score goals. It's about his overall.
No, let's not go into that.
I'm gonna go 15. I think if he stays at Liverpool. No, hear me out. I'm gonna go 15 if he stays at Liverpool. But I think he'll have a considerably much better season. Plus, the reason I'm saying 15, I don't think we'll just be playing Mane week in anymore. I think there will be more rotation, especially if we are going to get someone like Rafinha.
Even better for him because he gets. I'm telling you, man. Remember, I said it first. You people book it. I'm saying 25. If I'm wrong, I will say hold my hands up. I'm wrong. I'm saying 25. All comps. If he gets 23, 24,
all
you man will know.
I thought we were talking about the Premier League, bro.
I said all comps.
Oh, my bad. 25 all comps. Easy, bro. Easy.
I thought we were talking about the said Premier,
No, my bad. I thought we were talking about the Premier League.
No, I said
that's why I said he's never got 25 goals before because I thought we were talking about the Premier League. My bad.
All comps.
Oh, yeah, but
Monday's going to be on some different stuff.
Easy. Easy, bro.
His finishing will be on point. Trust me.
That's easy, bro.
Zota says Mane led us to Champions League final. Because of him, we won the Premier League. He was one of the players that was integral. He wasn't.
Zoltan, big man.
He was a player that was integral. He wasn't the player that won us the Champions League or the Premier League.
Cal, we don't have to rebuttal. Just leave it.
What? No, Ali and
You
Virgil
made
were
a
about now.
statement. You made a statement. He didn't ask a question. We don't need to rebuttal it. Let's leave it.
Okay, I won't rebut it because it's your player. Yeah. Right, cool. Well, people, we are going to wrap up there. We've had over 1,000 of you for most of this show. Please get those likes up. We should have at least 1,000 likes, people. Smash that like button if you haven't already.
Trust me.
Do leave a comment as well. And until I'm trying to think when we're next filming.
We'll let them know. We'll let them know.
midweek,
We'll let them know because we're still sorting out things. You get me?
Hopefully we Wednesday, but yeah, we'll let them.
Yeah,
we're sorting out things most likely Wednesday.
Yeah. So people, check us out on social media. We'll be keeping you updated as to when we'll be next filming. I hope you guys have enjoyed this show. We brought in a few guests. Obviously, go and check out and support Ryan, Conroy, Rams, Grizz,
all of them.
Have we missed anyone?
Monts, big up Monts
as well from Big Six Bands.
Every single one of them. Every single one of them. Trust me.
But no, always a pleasure.
I think that was
that's
everyone.
all of them.
Yeah, that's
all of them.
And we missed Hammers today, but yeah.
We see you.
We'll get him back on. We'll get Hammers. Come on, Hammers. We'll get him on. And Grizz, don't worry, people. I know people have been asking me as well.
Grizz will be back.
Grizz will be back on. Listen, I'm gonna have to bear the thing with Grizz now. You're gonna cuss me out, like, because it's mad. But we'll get him back on.
We did have Grizz in the waiting room for a
while.
And you know what? No. Big up Ryan. We had him in the waiting room.
Oh yeah.
He decided to stay because he said he didn't want to.
No, I know, but he's still sat in the waiting room for a long time.
But I told Grizz a certain time. No, you get me. But we move.
Indeed.
I think that might be why Ryan came in with his Uzi.
Yeah, for real. But no, enough love to you all, people. Until next time, stay safe, stay blessed. We're Kop-Ish and we're out, people. Take care.
Peace.
Sadio 20.